I'm not here to talk about what's the town name and shit. So,
Westview.
I'm not here to talk about Westview.
Fuck.
So
Damn.
that's what I'm saying.
Shit.
So that's what I'm getting at. So what entices
Hype
Strange?
now, B. I'm hype now. Go ahead, my bad.
What? No, you good?
Shit.
Nah, I'm hype. Nah, I'm hype too.
Oh, it's good to be back. Objectivity never has a greater Phoenix metaphor been personified in human history. Therefore, if I'm saying anything, is welcome back to the Stark Expo. Oh, it's good to be back.
We back at it.
All right, yes, sir. We
I
live.
think we're gonna get this right. I think we're in episode 4 now, right?
We in episode 4, the
For
night
us.
town. Right, yeah, we on the right page. Yeah,
We on
episode 4 for us. Night town.
We about to talk about episode 3.
Yeah, of the Moon God.
Of the Moon God.
Episode 3, man.
For me, just before we even start talking about it,
right?
I'm gonna keep it a buck. It probably is my least favorite episode.
I'm with you.
It's my least favorite episode, and I say all that to say, it was mind you, it was an enjoyable watch because there were times where I got to the edge of my couch because I'm like, I have this problem now. I think when I'm watching stuff, I be trying to figure it out. Right. Almost taking me like 2 or 3 watches of a lot of stuff. Even if it's a great movie, it takes me a couple watches where I'd be like, okay, now I could just sit back and enjoy it because this was the first episode, I think, where the MCU started to get introduced in a couple of movies.
Yes.
Right. So once you say a couple trigger words, so then now I'm like this.
Yeah. What you mean by that?
That means something. That means something. So it was a couple times where that happened. And last episode we talked about how the exposition happened. This episode said, yo, what they say, hold my beer.
Yeah. Woo.
And it wasn't what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Because they used old girl last time.
Yep.
To me, this one, it was Khonshu, right? It was Khonshu moments and the gods moments where it turned into. And we're gonna go. I think the problem, and I'm going all over the place right now.
No,
we're gonna get into some of the recap, but I feel like this one, and even through the whole thing, outside of like I get Mark. I was getting Mark. I'm starting to not to get him now, but I get the dynamic that him and Steve are having. I think it seems like they're going a little bit. They're turning it into not a thing that he has, but more like it's a problem for him, but he has control of it's like almost like both of them are like suits. I'm about to become Mark.
It's a lot
instead
going
of the
on.
Issue that he has with either being Mark or being Steven. He's actually getting more in control of it.
Yep.
We'll get to that, but then there's the part where they got into a lot of exposition, right? They get into a lot of like explaining things, but I don't know why. I watched this one show and they got this young lady be on there. She got this term where she always go, but for why? I think that's funny when she say that, like, but for why? And there's a lot of for whys in this one. I'm like, okay.
Good point.
Like, okay, the gods, so they're not omnipotent. They're not omnipotent. Omnipotent where they can see everything. So they're not this.
Omnipotent, yeah.
Yeah. They're not this. Then I don't know why Khonshu, maybe I missed it. I don't know why Khonshu got banished. Because they made this whole bill. We're going to do this to you because you do this one more time. But what did I do before to become banished?
He claims that he wouldn't abandon humanity.
Yeah, he wouldn't abandon humanity. That was his claim. Okay, so that's just like, so what happened where I wasn't going to, because that brings in the Eternals kind of deal.
It sounds like some Eternal stuff, don't it?
Like what? But they explained it in the movie. I got the movie, right? They actually had a scene where, and then things have happened, and we knew ultimately what regardless of whether I like the Eternals or not, they got to the money where I knew, okay, this was going to happen. We don't want this to happen. This is us abandoning, humanity if we allow this to happen. And the only reason now we got our memories kind of back, or we got explained to us what the actual end game was, we're not going to abandon humanity, right? Mm-hmm. We already had that scene where they didn't want to interfere. And then at the end, they didn't want the planet they saw what they can do, in terms of the blip. and they didn't want. So we got that. I don't know
Right.
why Khonshu was, because he's a, well, I already told you he was a prick. Now we look at him, to me, he's a sucker, and he kind of weak. But that, that's just me. I'm being silly. But ultimately, I don't know why. I don't know why. Like, okay, I don't want to. I refuse to abandon humanity. But what does that mean? Because they all got avatars. They still around.
Right.
They doing this. So what does that really mean?
Good question.
What is the purpose of everyone?
Right.
What is the purpose? Why do you need an avatar? And I just didn't know why. Right. And then I don't know. But just a couple of things. Like I said, I don't know. Like the Layla thing, and I'm not trying to dump on her, right? She's just a character and part of the thing. She's an amalgamation of multiple. If you look at comics, you look at whatever. She's an amalgamation. So she's a new character that's a blend of multiple people, right?
Yeah.
But what's her real backstory other than her connection, right? Because it seems like she got like I say, she's kicking ass. She getting fake IDs. She got she has, is she?
Yeah.
She's getting. She's a protector of these archaeology finds,
right?
But then she's doing so what's the whole? I don't get it. It's just there, and they do, like I say, they explain a lot of things. I just don't think they explain them well. Like it's starting to get all over the place, which
it's a lot going on,
which is getting me into my theory. I have a theory about that, right? About that. Spoiler. Let's get to the end. I don't think there's everything that's happening is happening.
Just get into that. Let's get into that.
I don't think everything is happening. I think his mind is doing this.
You think so?
I think
so. You don't think anything is happening with Harold?
That's the hard for me. That's the hard part of me breaking down what isn't and what is.
Okay.
Right. Meaning I feel like there's a reality with Harold. I don't think this God stuff is really, because that was a bullshit trial. That trial was bullshit. Right? When they got into the trial and it was
that was so weak.
When it was like, okay, we the gods, and we can summon a portal that you can go into the pyramids of Giza. We can do all this. And all he had to say was, no, I'm not doing that. Khonshu can see it.
Right.
Khonshu can see it. The God that he clapped, I my line, but the girl was on his side. I'm like,
she was
Khonshu clapped that, right?
Yeah.
So she believed him, but they had a history. So that's probably the only reason, I believe you. I don't know if the situation happened, but it didn't make sense to me how they got to the trial. They got to the trial and they didn't, all of a sudden, all Arthur had to do was walk in and say, nah. Like he was representing someone. Like obviously for him to show up, that means he had to be representing Amit, right? So Amit don't have. They just believed it. Like, oh no, we know he's not doing that. So I don't really get it. Maybe the things I missed, but I didn't really get why. He's the avatar for Amit, but Amit is they're looking for her. Was it her tomb, right? Was that the tomb they were looking for?
The tomb,
they were looking for the tomb of Amit, right? But they just all of a sudden like, okay, nah, he's not doing that. That's not happened. They can't see that that's a thing that's happening. But he got 90,000 people. He got 90,000 people out there digging up like Indiana Jones, like the Indiana Jones. It literally was Indiana Jones. And all those people was out there. All those Nazis and everything were out there digging up in the spot, right? We can see it, but y'all can't see that. Y'all have no visibility. Right? Yeah, he got everybody out, and then he got the stuff that he's doing. He got the staff. Like, you mean to tell me when he light up when the staff get busy, y'all can't feel that energy? Because that's
a piece of from the realm. He said
from the realm.
Yeah,
y'all can't
it's old as hell.
There's parts in that that's like
the original Avatar had it.
For how open that part got, right? How open that part got. I didn't get once they got into the trial that it went that way. The trial was weak. When it was dope how they got into it, right? Like that's like the concept of it, like, oh, damn, what's about to happen? But once everything got busy, it was like, Conchu, that's when he really turned into a sucker to me, because it was like he started explaining, and I'm like, what? That's all you got, bro? You doing all this just to say he's a liar? And no, I've been just trying to humanity. And he got that trash, just like I got that part of it. That's what I'm saying. I don't think,
yeah.
And maybe there's a part of it, if I can explain it better, is some of those situations are happening, but the way he's seeing how those happening is not happening that way. Meaning like I might go outside and I take a couple shots and I think I got perfect form until I watch it on tape. And I'm trick ass at it, right? I see it a certain way until I really represent it to him. I think his mind is creating a way like because it don't seem that, and I'm doing this, I'm definitely being disrespectful doing all this, like you crazy. Like, no, I'm just working my mind. But I don't think the way it's happening, like I think we have a bad narrator.
Unreliable.
Unreliable narrator. There are things those things are probably happening, just not that way. So he may be thinking, he's saying, no. And then it's like, no, that's really not how it's happening. He's a liar. He's like, dude, that's all you had. So yeah, it just was okay. We can get, like we said, I had some initial thoughts. Like the episode, that's the part about it. So how do you delineate the viewing experience from how the story going? Because when you start talking, it's like, this like, no, I was locked in for the entire episode, right? Was locked in. It was I was locked in when, because there was some nuggets in there. I was like, oh, okay, okay. Like some of our theories, like we're gonna get. I want to go too far, and I know I'm all over the place. My bad.
Nah, you good. No,
but it just was.
I'm glad you got straight to that one.
Some of those moments where it was like, I don't. I thought some of those parts where they were going to get. I know they have to do stuff with Layla in that kind of way. I'm glad it didn't stay that way, because I'm like, oh, here we go, right? Here we go. And then some action would happen, or some things would happen. It'll be like, okay, they're about to get on this boat, they about to do this, and they about to have this magical like moment where it was like, nah, it ain't really resolved, and then things happen, right? Like, okay, they about to do this, and it's gonna change the theme. Like, nah, that didn't stay, right? It didn't stick. It just we was off the boat, we was on the island, and we had to get busy, right? And then okay, now this is gonna happen. We in the desert. It looked like her and Steve was about to have a moment, right? And it's like, okay, we gonna change and then like no, and then they was doing things with the sky, right? So yeah, it was different things. I thought I was gonna go a certain way, but it was just like this episode is the one that made me start thinking. And the more I thought, like really started thinking, like once they got into the parts where I saw connections, I was like, okay, now it's time for me to start breaking, what's today's mathematics, right? What's the science? And I was gonna sit back and I was gonna be like, okay, they did this. They brought up Madripoor. They really it was, I think it was when first thing they said was realm, and I was like, okay, now we getting that talk. And then they got the Madripoor and they did this, and I was like, okay, now I'm trying to but yeah, it was just a couple moments where it was like, this seems way too all over the place for me. The only thing I can think of is that this ain't really happening this exact way. Like, I guess I used to use a better example. You watch Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
I really have movie reference. Remember when he thought he was walking into the house and he was cool, and then all of a sudden he was crawling through the. I see a little bit of that. Like, it's happening. It's just not happening this way. And it's probably making him look, his situation that he got is really more of an issue, right? Then because it made it sound like he got control of it now. Hey, Steven, I need you. Hey, Mark, take the body. Hey, like they partners. There's no way his situation where he just said, I don't know what happened, then all of a sudden you have control of it to the point where now you two are partners, right? You two are partners. Him and Steve are partners now. Take the body.
Yeah, he went from kicking the mirror last episode to basically being able to just switch when he having full-on conversations. Like they're concurrent, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like, hey, you want in on this? Like there's no conflict. That like if there's less and less conflict as the episode goes by to the point where we get to the middle of the episode and they just like they don't speak in terms like, all right, yeah, you want in? All right. Here comes Steve. Oh, yeah. Without any real resolution on what they dealt with over the previous 2 episodes.
Yeah, they couldn't coexist before.
They couldn't
One
coexist.
was in control of the other. Like they couldn't even, and that's almost like the only time they blacked out was when potentially the whatever third character that could possibly be there took over.
Yeah.
So they got together. Yeah.
Trauma-inducing events, right?
Yeah. They still he blacked out a couple times.
Yeah.
But it wasn't him, and apparently it wasn't Mark and it wasn't Steve who had the body at this time. That was the only time where they had conflict. Yeah. All the other times they was working together.
Because people died, and it's like
I think the 2 times Steven maybe. No, I'm lying. Every time it was. I think one time Steven actually force controls when he became Mr. Knight. And he didn't even want that smoke, so he was like, "Nah."
He switched back quick. Yeah, no, you take it.
Yeah.
You got it.
But yeah, that was just my initial thoughts. Like I said, I went in. I probably don't make sense because I think realistically, it's not making sense.
You hit. Yeah, no, you made a good point, and I think, yeah, there's a lot going on. There was a scene, and this is where I see what you're saying, because you saw there's one scene where I just kind of paused the screen as I was watching it, and there's literally Mark sitting there, and Khonshu was like sitting. He's like sitting on a perch or whatever, like he's like a bird, so he's just kind of
yeah.
And I'm looking at this, and I'm like, man, it's a lot going on, man. You got multiple personalities with Steve and Mark, and then you got Khonshu in there. And it's like, wait a minute, man, this is starting to become a lot, because it's like, all right, it was always a lot going on, because it was like you're a guy with multiple personalities who got possessed by a god. But now it's like, man, either y'all really got this much going on all at once, or Khonshu is somehow connected to this. And I think that's sort of like piggybacking off what you just said. Yeah, it's like, man, is this really happening the way you think it is? Or are you just kind of like is Khonshu really doing all this? Because it seemed very like sloppy, the whole he's lying, and like
he sounds like that actor too. They like a British actor, like he's lying. Like if I went to a play or something.
Yeah, I'm like, hold on, my screen switched off. Yeah, I'm like, man, is this? I don't know. It seemed, and then that whole pyramid. We're in the pyramid of Giza, which I don't even know how they got there really, but that whole scene, I just felt like that was straight out the CW. Like, man, what happened to the production what happened to the budget on this episode? And just my initial thoughts. My bad. I got kind of now. I'm all
rock. I went in like this our first impromptu, just kind of recording during the day. So
my initial thoughts was I just felt like we missed an episode, right? I felt like we're on episode 4 when we're on episode 3 when we really should be on episode 4. Like I feel like they cut out an entire episode. How the hell did we get here? What's going on with Layla? Why is she getting the passport and all this? Like, how did we get from being in London to now we're in Cairo? And Khonshu now is like, Khonshu is showing like powers now. He can do things. He can affect the world. And I'm like, wait a minute.
In this realm, when they kind of explained it, that they really couldn't. Right? Meaning like they have to have an avatar here to do, like to do their work.
Yeah.
But Khonshu just roaming around.
Yeah, Khonshu just like, I can change the moon and stars back to, I can do it if you want me to. It's like, nigga, how? And if you could do that, then what do you need? What do you need Mark for? like I'm starting to it's not very clear. 3 episodes in, we really don't know what the hell's going on.
Because it was
Really,
and that was the thing, it was Conchu's episode.
it was his episode.
But what really is, and I don't mean to cut you, I'm gonna let you
Good.
breathe. But like, what really is your purpose, Conchu?
That's
Like, what,
that's
like
what I
you
was
say,
just about
you've
to
been there.
ask.
I seen every night. So what are you trying to accomplish?
That's exactly
It
what I
seemed
was
like you
getting
need
to.
no one.
What is the goal here? What is his purpose? What is his goal? What does he seek to accomplish? Is it just to stop Ahmet because he knows Ahmet is really evil and like, because I know her backstory is kind of like she eats gods or something like that. Like she's like a terror to the gods, but the gods have no sense of urgency.
None.
The God, they to the point where they just let Harold come in and they like, oh, he wouldn't do that. Cut it out, Conchu. You come on, you bad guy. Like, cut it out,
It's like
guy.
a bad murder, not a murderer, but you watch those movies, you'd be like, nah, they telling you it's a problem. Like, how y'all just brushing this off?
Yeah,
Y'all
it's
seem
just
to be like a higher power that wouldn't operate in that sort of way. And then what was Harold? Who was he really representing? Where they just was talking to him like, I don't even remember. I have to look back. I don't even, maybe it happened. I don't even remember his eyes lighting up.
Nah.
So Harold knew he was going to get summoned, but everybody in there was an avatar. But it didn't seem like he was in there as an avatar. He seemed like he was in there as him. He had complete control of his faculties.
Right. He was on trial.
As him.
Representing himself. It wasn't like the guy, like it wasn't like Ahmet was in the back, like, oh no, we're good. Oh, we're not doing anything. He's just there, like, I don't know what you're talking about. No, I couldn't possibly do that. And it's like Conchu, how is Conchu? Yeah. How is Conchu like all over the place? And like he getting immediately they're like quiet, he's like and then Harold just like, I mean, you see this? I mean, my God, look at this guy. I mean, he doesn't even know his name. Like he's just so calm, and Conchu was just so out of control. Like, I don't understand this. Like, you would have been better off just letting Mark speak. Be like, yeah. This guy's definitely killing people. He's judging people without he's showing off his power all throughout the world. He's judged people with no sense of discretion, and you know what I mean. Like Mark would have put together a way less disjointed argument, I feel like, than Conchu, who's supposed to be this ancient god with all this wisdom, who just blurts out things like, no, he's trying to. It's like, and the gods are just like, no, he wouldn't do that. He's a guy. No, he would never do that. So it's just all over the place. I'm like, what are we doing? What?
There's a part of me that after I watched the last episode, where I was like, they should have just dumped this all at once.
Yeah, man, this is one you dump all at once.
This probably should have been, because I still think it's just because of the people involved, right? With it being Ethan Hawke, with it being Oscar, that is going to ultimately it's just the quality of it, because they're gonna put in the work, right? I don't think it's going to be a super miss, but I just think the way this moved, right, that it probably should have been all at once, because it'll need to be. It probably should have been a movie for the cohesiveness, and this probably needed a bigger budget.
Yeah,
right. So that they can,
see that now. Yeah,
they probably needed a bigger movie budget that they can
because the guy
kind of tell a story. Yeah, they could tell a story. They could tell a story and then from beginning to end, right? Not because you do TV shows, you always got to end with a cliffhanger. Like, especially like this, there's like some hanger at the end, or there's some dramatic thing to try to that gives you a false, which is dope. It sounds bad I'm saying this, but they do, every TV show does it, where it's like, oh, I gotta watch next week, right? I have to watch next week, and then you got to begin the next episode with the recap of what happened in the previous week just to try to get you back up. It probably should have had a movie. Because the part there's two parts that's making me scared is that the best parts of the show up until this episode was the dynamic between Mark and Steve, and then whomever Oscar was and Arthur. All that other stuff is just the other stuff. And then you have this other element that we're not going, just reality is. That's one other thing I think they wish they had a movie. We probably gonna get a minute of Moon Knight each episode.
That's the thing, man.
They may give us one episode, and then probably the next one will, or maybe the last one, where like we get some of the Moon God, but we really not gonna get a lot. We're gonna get a. It's just not.
You saw it in the opening of the episode, man. He come out, he fighting 3 dudes. He don't summon the suit. You know, he fighting these guys. They clearly trying to kill him. They got knives. Well, they got like damn near like machetes, like swords almost.
No, they got real,
big knives. You know what I mean? They trying to kill his guy.
Clean, it had a reflection.
Yeah, man, they trying to kill him, and it's like I don't know why we wasted the first 5 minutes on Layla getting a fake passport. I'm still.
Guess that's what I was wondering, right? Because they didn't really claim like, was that mom's? You know what I'm saying? But they said that, like, you look at the credits, it's not. It's just a forgery. So it's like they were trying to sneak in a backstory about the father, right? So like, we in episode 3 now. So where we gonna try to? At some point in time, we gonna try to get to the disconnect where you setting that up because it like it was a setup about the father. Because obviously something happened, and we can kind of gander that Mark was there, right? I mean, I think he's even the comic part, but Mark was there. And he played some kind of part in the death of her father.
Right. And I think we know the obvious theory to that, right?
So we know where it's going. Yeah. But so they tried to lay that. But like you say, like episode 3, we brought Layla in episode 2, like that, you know, we could already got that out the way. We spent a lot of time with other stuff knowing her favorite poem.
Yeah.
Really needed to get to that in episode 2. Because there's a whole nother world that she got connects. She been in Madripoor, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? She gets stuff and take it to Madripoor. So you know, there's the power broker, there's all that other stuff. Yep. You know, Madripoor, big deal in Marvel, right? Yep. We know it is. So there was things they sprinkled in this episode that should have been probably when they introduced her in the episode before. Because that seems like that's more relevant, right? Right, that's more relevant. Then they could have gotten to the part, and then like this episode when they was going through all that about now we get into the part about what happened with the father, because obviously she plays a part. But like I said, I didn't get the beginning because it played that other than a sneaky nugget maybe that could potentially be something. It really, like you said, it didn't really. Because then we didn't see how she found Mark. Was she still tracking? Like I'm not sure he's not carrying that phone anymore, right? But she ran up. But she ran up on him like immediately.
She's found him twice in 2 different locations around the world, man. Like I found him in England. Now
she get the first one, so that's actually the 3rd time.
It's more of a That's not such a remote place, you know what I mean? England, that's a major city,
But in that, when she showed up at the cult. How'd you know to show up at the cult?
That's a good idea.
She told us like I'm tracking you. He had the phone. He had the phone when he was still Steve. I could see sloppy Steve not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
Right. But
activating the phone and all that.
Yeah, and then he activated the phone and probably still had it on him. But when she showed up at the cult, and then she tracked him instantly at Egypt, right? We don't. Obviously she has a mechanism. But we don't know. And then another thing, like I didn't even really get how she went from not understanding. Because like you said, I think that your point about a missing episode.
Exactly where you're going.
She went from not understanding the characters, the multiple personalities he have, to now she's telling him you gotta bring, like you just accepted it then, like you didn't get it first.
Thank you. You went from
against it.
That was a note I made. Yeah. How you just understand now how this whole dynamic works?
We need Steve. Like, what do you know that much about Steve? How do you
How
know
you know
Steve was that
Steve?
dope at
Right?
knowing that stuff?
Yeah. Just because he said he knows some hieroglyphics?
He
Oh
worked at the
no,
museum.
call Steve.
He was gonna be
Please,
able to put that together.
you just
Like, you
that.
knew he was gonna do that.
Yeah, you just that quick to just snap Mark out. Like, no, it's your turn to like to tag Mark out. No, just call. No, we need Steve for this. Yeah, you stupid. You know, you're too dumb for this. We need Steve. How you know how this works? How you know the what he goes through to summon Steve? You know that it's not seizure inducing. You know what I mean? That
Because
he's
that's what it
like
looked like.
because it looks like it's painful. It don't you know? I mean, he just somehow magically can just control it now throughout the episode. But for her to be on point with that, for her to already be aware of that, like, no, you got control of this. Just go ahead and call Steve. Again, we're missing an episode.
Yeah, it seemed like that.
Because when did they work this out? Where's the montage of him struggling to call Steve and him learning how to control Steve and to summon Steve when he needs him and to snap back to Mark and her
Doing that
seeing it
in
and
front of
understanding
her.
it.
Yeah, you 100%.
We kind of skipped it. So we kind of skipped that part, and now we're just supposed to
We
believe
skipped
that
one.
she just understands this dynamic and understands
Yeah,
what this guy's going through. But we don't really, because at some point in the episode, she's like, "How come you didn't tell me what you were going through? You clearly don't know what he's going through." But it's like, but yet you think it's okay to just say, "Yeah, just call Steve." You know? So they make it clear that she wasn't aware of his multiple personalities. Again, you know, they make that aware, make you aware of that again, make it obvious. But yet she's almost like coaching this guy on when and where to call on Steve. I
Yeah,
just thought that was weird.
It was another thing too in that same vein where it was like or even him tracking down those people on the roof, right? When he was trying to get to some of the Harold's men, it was like, okay, we just see him running, but last time we left, he was waking up on a hotel drink on that yak, right? So at what point in time did information like that was a lot of off-screen stuff that happened from the previous episode to this episode, and it's a weird thing but I did feel that way. I didn't. It was an enjoyable watch, but it probably was because it was something to watch. Right? It was probably something to watch. Like, man, I'm ready. Right? Come on, let that joint go, and I'm like, okay, it's time. It's go time.
The fight scenes were good. Yeah, with Moon Knight.
And then it was it was stuff that was
out. It was good. Yeah.
And then once I can't help it. I spent our first like episode like, man, you know, we don't have to be connected and we don't have to do, you know, I was talking that talk, and as soon as anything can even come close to connection, I'm like, okay, where we at? Okay, this is that. Yeah. This equals that. Okay, we got you know, I think we talked last time, and certain things that happened. I'm like, oh no, we get Blade showing up. Started to change, and I'm thinking like, nah, I'm thinking we probably go to the Eternals route. They was doing that Eternals talk.
We about to get some Eternals. We about to get some Celestials, some higher beings.
And I don't think it's happenstance that when the show ends, the next thing that show up is Eternals.
God, because they did that with WandaVision, right? When they sent you back to her origin story, which was Ultron, right?
Ultron.
They telling us something, right? Like, oh yeah, you probably need to watch this if you want to fully understand what's going to happen.
Because it was an Eternals vibe. It was an Eternals vibe.
It's so much of an Eternal vibe now. It's becoming clear, more and more clear every episode with these pyramids and all this shit. These just talking ancient gods and civilizations and stuff. It's giving off a very Eternals vibe, and it wouldn't be it wouldn't surprise me if Disney, Marvel, if they would, like they've done with Star Wars, if they created things to try to retroactively strengthen and reinforce quote unquote failed properties. You know what I mean? Like Eternals was obviously a failure for them, and one way to try to solidify that entire movie would be to offer this cool new character, Moon Knight, who sort of fleshes out some of the connections with the gods and and the idea of beings, higher beings, not giving up on humanity. It's like, the Eternals, I'm good, thank you. But
yeah, it's almost like a reset. Where it's like you walk in the beginning, it's like, oh yeah, this is more of a grounded character, which is an appeal, right? I don't know why that's but it definitely is an appeal. It's probably not going to be that. So you almost got to change your sight picture as you get into
it's less and less grounded, right?
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I walked in with this expectation, and it looked like it was going this way, and then honestly, man, like probably maybe as soon as they went into that, when they went through that quasi portal and went into the pyramid.
Yep.
Okay, now it's something different.
Yep. There's no
now there's something different. Right.
Yeah.
Now it's something different.
So much going on. Yeah.
Because even like you say, even the dynamic, it was almost like from that moment to the end of the show, even the dynamic, because finish my thought before I was about to change it up. But even it went from that to like now at the end, now we get to the point where Steve can, now you say Mark and Steve can coexist. The gods have these different reasons why they do one or two. We got people moving the sky. It was a lot of things that changed from that moment, because before it was like, okay, damn, are we about to get Jake? Is not from State Farm, but that would be fucked up if Jake from State Farm showed up. But are we about to get Jake? Are we about to get this? Are we about to get that? Nah, it looked, because that's what it looked like. Then it wasn't that, right?
Right.
Or what? We got this, like I said, man, I was disappointed in the meeting of the gods. It just lacked any type of gravitas, right? They've been talking about these guys for 2 episodes. We've been watching breakdown videos. We know that there's another realm and there's gods and they all there. But once we see them, we see the avatars in person. What do we get? It's kind of corny, right?
It's kind of corny.
Lackluster, I should say. Like I was disappointed in that, man. The gods and the avatars. It just seemed real CW to me, man. I didn't like it, man. I was like, come on, it's Marvel, you know what I mean? We used to don't fuck this up, but decline that. But yeah. My bad.
No, you good. And it was like they had led up to that point, right? Mm-hmm. I saw somebody I wish I could remember who said it. Somebody kind of made a good point that in the way they kind of showed the gods, like a certain, even the avatars, they kind of showed it in a way that if they actually get to the point where they want to like really introduce them, they can actually, because it was like kind of, I don't want to call them no-name actors, but it wasn't like people we probably knew like, oh, that's such and such, that's such and such, that if they do want to get to that, they can hire big name people to play that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, no, they were very nondescript.
Very nondescript,
like, even, the part that got me, me, when they showed the sister, I'm like, oh, we about to get into the Black Panther. This about to
man. Yeah. So no big name actors, nobody that would give us a clue that maybe we would see them in the future, right? So because if it was a big name actor, if it was a prominent actor or somebody like that we knew, more than likely we're going to see that character in the future, right?
Absolutely.
We don't see that with the guys. So none of these, I can already tell you right now, my theory is all them guys going to get slaughtered. Like, it's a reason that they nondescript, that they brought in these cast members, because they all going to die. And I think Ahmed is going to be behind that. I think she's about to slaughter them.
That's a good point.
They very unassuming, right? They just kind of like, oh yeah, guard is completely down. They trust this guy, Harold, for some reason. So they about to get slaughtered, bro.
Yeah.
Even the way they set up the girl, she got the past relationship with Khonshu, the Avatar knows Mark on first name basis and all that. She about to get slaughtered, bro. It's gonna be a bloodbath. That's my prediction. If I had to make it,
gonna rise and wipe them off.
That's literally like what her her background is, right? So that's like what she's meant to do. So she gonna slaughter the guys. And going back to just touching back to what you said about the sister. We ain't get one damn line, man. And I'm like, again, not a prominent actor, so
Yeah.
She ain't gonna be in Wakanda forever. You know what I mean? It's no connection. These gods are gonna die. That's my prediction. That's the reason why none of them are big name actors, because they're all gonna die.
Yeah, they only gave us the 5. It's supposed to be 9, right? So there's like a reason. Even if they went to the 7, I think they were on the poster. But ultimately, like you say, I could see them getting wiped, and then the for real ones that may connect to the MCU, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come in at some point, you know what I'm saying? Boss and all that. They come in and do that, like you say, Wakanda. That purple color, man. Every time I see that, it get real. Like,
yeah, that's
something.
it.
But with that being said, that makes sense. I can definitely see that the reason why they are what they are, because they're not gonna be here for long.
They're not gonna be there, man.
And they idiots.
And they dumb, right? So
And
they just completely guard is just completely down. They don't even act like guys, right? So they about to get slaughtered, bro. And they setting that up. You know what I mean? That's gonna be like a big scene, I think, when Harold come in there, and it's probably gonna be like, he come in like, yeah, hey, nothing to worry about here, slaughter. You about to see the true power of Ahmed. She about to walk through these guys, bro.
And I think that's probably next episode.
Yeah, they got to be coming soon, right? Because we got 3 episodes left. So
yeah,
again, Marvel respecting our time, right? So this time they was like, we just gonna skip an episode. I feel like they just cut out a whole episode of setup, because we just get straight to it. Episode start off. He in a fight with these 3 guys. We don't know how he got there. We don't know what they was meeting for. Really, it just starts off this fight, this goofy fight, just all over Cairo.
We don't even know how. I mean, I kind of brought this up previously, but how did old girl know to go to Egypt? You get what I'm saying? Like, you're right. It's a whole nother. He's like, I'm sorry, I just left abruptly. But like, did he let her know he was going? Well, it do seem like an episode. They just cut one. They did that with another series too. I feel like we pointed that out before one of our conversations, just randomly. That there was a show we was watching and feel like, there was a whole episode they got cut.
Yeah. Yeah, they've done it. They're
I'm trying to remember which one that was.
It might have been a Falcon. So
might have been a Falcon in them. Might have been Falcon in them, like.
But they literally did cut an episode out of one of these shows, right?
It's like
then they cut the episode countdown on one of these. Was that
and who knows? They probably did that because of the fact that do that, because you could tell they cut some stuff because with the actor that passed away. The dude,
he did. The guy that the horse
midnight was supposed to really be midnight, but he passed. So some of the stuff they might have cut, where he might have had more of a prominent role, right? Yeah. Like when they that may have been part of it, because like she knew to contact him and he was expecting her, and they had a backstory that they totally like we just showed up.
No idea
how connected is she? Like, she seemed like she's more connected than they gave us, that they're giving us, right? So maybe some of that got cut, and then they trimmed the fat. They got to the point where it was like, you know what? He in Egypt, let's go with it. Like, we ain't got to go through any of the stuff between that. We just gonna have him running on the roof.
Yeah,
and he going to get it.
It just, I don't know, man. It was a lot going on. So we had. What'd you think about the this guy going back in time 2,000 years?
Is that what you think happened?
Well,
when he circled the sky,
he took the stars back, right? He didn't really like take the world back necessarily.
We don't know that. I mean, no. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we don't know that you're not right. My point is, it could be that. Like, we don't know that he just moved the sky. Like, it might, because that's like a West Coast. That's kind of like a West Coast Avenger thing, right?
Yeah.
like when you start watching all the stuff, like they did that because they had to get back. I think they went to go get at Kang when he became. Speaking of which, I'll be sorry if Kang show up. But when they had to go get at Kang,
it's opening for him though.
Was it Rama Tut?
Yep, he was like the first one, right? And Apocalypse too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I feel like in that run, didn't they have to use a Khonshu to get back? So that's how then they ran. And then they tried to run up on Rama Tut. It's a story. I guess I might be butchering it, but ultimately, it's not unprecedented. That this could be something that they're doing.
This could happen. Yeah.
But it's like you say, did he?
Imagine, bro?
Because I saw something. It's like, okay, he just moving the sky that way. So then it's like, okay, you know, we got the space station, we got all kind of stuff that's out there, right?
Is that real? Like 2,000 years, bro? Like
right.
Meteors did they come by? Like, so this precedes what? Like ancient civilization. So it's like, man, I just wonder, like, for you to take the sky back, bro, that had to have an effect, right? Somebody had to notice that. Like,
Yeah,
even Doctor Strange again. Where's Doctor Strange at, bro? Doctor Strange gotta be like, hey, that's
Wong and them. Like, he probably looking at like Strange. You doing this? Come on, man.
Yeah, it was right. It was Wong as the
like
Sorcerer Supreme.
This
so
is
he
like
looking
some
like
shit you would do.
This look like some shit you would do. Meanwhile, you know, Strange about to fall into the multiverse of madness and shit. You know, he like, I ain't bro, I'm on everything, bro.
Like, he only in a couple weeks away from that bitch.
Right, bro. Lee, hey, chill, bro. I got a lot to handle out here, bro. Wanda, I gotta go see Wanda. Fucking reality, man. But you can really say that, like, technically, man, Doctor Strange could be involved in every single TV show and movie, bro. Whenever reality is distorted in any way, yeah, he should be popping up. Like, wait a minute, man, did you just rewind the stars, nigga? Can't do that.
You know. Yeah, so maybe they try to sell it that really how he was doing was he made an image, right?
Yeah.
Versus
that's what it was saying. Like, yeah.
That because you either move time back, right here, or you move time back there. Or you have the ability to conjure an image by, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What you're doing is you're conjuring an image.
Because he was saying, I remember, right?
Yeah.
So is he just going off memory?
Yeah.
But it was such a blatant display of power that it got the attention of the guys. Where the guys was like, all right, locking your ass up. We locking you up, bro.
Anything else but that.
Yeah.
That's kind of their thing, right?
You can't be showing out like that, B. We gotta lock you up. Locked him up. So he knew it too. He was like, "Tell Mark, come rescue me." And then I'm sorry, this is the dumbest part of the show. When they turned him into a little doll, I was like, "Y'all ain't got no budget, bro. Y'all just hey, y'all ain't got no budget, bro. Like, what happened? Did y'all just run out of budget?
Is that where you had to cut the corner?
Because it's like it's a doll, like."
It's like the thing that would have been in the souvenir shop where he worked.
It's like, you know what it reminded me of was like, remember the Power Rangers and shit? Like when they used to throw like the little doll out there and the doll would grow.
Yeah.
It'd be like literally a little miniature doll of the monster and shit.
Yeah.
And they just send it down to earth and it's like, oh man, what is it?
Yeah, because that was like, can you hear us? And it's like, we're gonna walk up. And then we walked up to this little ass figurine.
And it's right.
Like, damn, you got other statues like damn Contra. Is he really that bullshit of
he can
God that
you got monuments, right?
You got other shit. So like
you got big ass statues.
This is what he turned into, just a little. I mean, you can break that thing. What happened if you drop that bitch? Like that's it?
Yeah. That's
it for you? Like, nah, yeah.
Like Harold was holding it in his hands.
That whole God's thing. You're right. That was a
letdown, bro.
Because they led up to that.
Yeah, like
they led up to that.
They talked about that, but just compare. Let's just do comparison, right? When they told you about a celestial, nigga, before showing you officially a celestial, like we seen the little flashbacks. What was it in
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Guardians of the Galaxy, right? We started learning about the Infinity Stones. We saw a celestial. Like, damn, that was a celestial. Like, we just destroyed an entire planet with just one, thrust of the staff or whatever, right? With the Infinity Stone. Then we start, you saw like Ego, right? And to build off of Ego, like, damn, that nigga's a planet. That's amazing, bro. For them to, they basically, and the same thing with Thor and all the Asgardians, right? For this to be the gods, bro. I guess it was just the avatars. We not really seeing the other realm, and we not seeing the gods, but. That was a disappointment.
It's kind of a line too that they say, like, like when you look at, be like, these shows that are coming out are like, hey, they just like, 4, 5, 6, six shows. You break down the time, it's probably like a movie, but it's like, nah, because it's not a movie budget. You know what I'm saying? Like what they throwing, even if they throw 200 million in the show, right? It's like, yeah, but that's like 6, 7. When you break it down, like you get really get the breakdown, like, nah, per minute, per whatever it is.
How are you distributing that, right?
Yeah, it's not the same as they're doing for a movie. So there's ultimately corners they get cut.
I'm gonna start timing how much Moon Knight we get. Not a lot, and it's always the same thing. Like he always like running, moving fast. Like he always moving just fast enough that you can't really focus in on his suit.
And that was
whenever you slow down, you kind of see like, oh man, CGI ain't that great.
And then that's a whole nother thing. He just was on top of the roof. They had him pinned down. And then nobody did notice that he got unpinned and he was up there. Because they just switched over.
Yeah. It was some Batman shit, no doubt, but it's like, yeah, how you do that?
But Batman still gotta get away some way, somehow. Like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
he got it, yeah.
Like some way, something for him. Either show me the sleight of hand where, like, let's say they have Bruce wrapped up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Bruce got to become Batman, but he ain't trying to do it in front of everybody. There's usually some kind of sleight of hand, like, look over there. Everybody looking, he can go off and he go up, and here comes the Cape Crusader.
Yep.
But like
same thing with Spider-Man.
Yeah, they found a way to do that. They didn't what they do in Infinity War? Hey man, I need you to make it a distraction. We're all gonna die. And he was able to make his move.
That was great.
He was like, he was pinned down. Guys like, you ain't never seen a spaceship before. But he was getting pinned down. Yeah. And then next thing you know, everybody just look at the roof. Like, even old girl was like, how the fuck you do that?
It was all over.
Yeah, so it was some stuff in there where they like,
cut.
That's parts where you could look like there were things that got cut.
Seemed like they kind of chopped up some stuff and put it together, man. It just episode really didn't make. Again, it had some enjoyable parts for me, but overall, man, yeah, I gotta say this is my least favorite episode because it lacks. I don't know what direction we going in.
I have no clue, bro.
I have no clue. Like I felt like the first 2 episodes, there was this dynamic between Mark and Steve. Steve trying to figure out who's in control. What effect is Khonshu having on them? What is Harold doing? How, what's his mission? This 3rd episode just felt like people were just popping up. Harold just pops up twice. How do he keep getting invited back to the pyramid? Even after they freeze Khonshu, he just shows up.
What was that? Like, what did they need to talk to him before? Like, it's want to let you know. Like, were they in it together? You get what I'm saying?
Right,
like,
they hit towards that. Like, was this always the setup? And if so, then why not just imprison him from the jump? Why not make this ultimatum?
Would anybody who ever been an Avatar get the right to show up? Like, like a president, like you always
get
Secret Service.
Yeah.
Like, you always get show
tenure.
up.
Yeah.
Like, is it a thing where, like, okay, because it was just weird at the end. It was like, okay, why did Harold need to show up? I know they had to get the lines out, but it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense that he would.
It didn't fit. No.
Like, okay, that's a good point. I actually didn't even think about that. But like, you saw him show up. He come back through a portal. We still don't. He knew he was gonna go through a portal. I don't know how he knew he was going through the portal. If they don't know, I don't know. Do they know he's Amit's Avatar? And
unclear,
is that a cool thing for her to be? Because like they didn't hit where she was buried. No one knows. So I didn't get that he just showed up as himself. And then I really, like I said, I really don't get why he would get invited the second time by one random person, one random avatar. Now, he wasn't random. He was obviously the one that was cast in, like, okay, he was the main one.
You kind of like the
delivering the order. Yeah, he was more of that. Yeah. But then he would be the only one. Was he the only? Unless I'm not remembering it right.
He was the only one in that last.
He was the only one at the end saying, "Hey, Harold, this is what happened. So, look at, we got him. We got him." It was like more like that, and it was like, okay, he had that last line. I actually thought this was going to be the episode where they was going to let Harold get busy. So they kind of prolonged.
Yeah, and it seemed like for a minute they would.
Yeah, I thought this was the one. So I was a little disappointed about that because it kind of felt like the progression, like, okay, we get more. Okay, this is the one where. So I guess in the next one, or so we're gonna wait till episode 6 for him to actually raise the tomb, and that's where the final battle gonna come. You get what I'm saying? I don't know, but at the end of the day, I thought it was going to be this one where he was gonna get most of the glow, but there were just things that were happening in the use of him, where it was like that don't really go with where y'all been going. So I'm like you, man. I have no idea. Sometimes that's good, and sometimes that's bad, but I'm thrown off more. I'm actually thrown off.
Yeah, I'm throwing. I'll just we went off.
And I actually don't want to get to a point where we get to the episode. And he like, oh, like my theory is that he just seeing it a different way. I actually don't want it to be that.
Yeah, it's theories that you don't really want it to be.
I don't want it to be that. Like I actually don't want an Eternals tie-in, which I kind of think that's what it's going to be. And I don't want it to be where he's put in his mind. He's seeing it a different way. Like even this kind of like love thing that him and Layla and Steven has, like it's not really like that. That's how he's seeing it, right? Yeah. His personality is seeing that they got a connection when they really don't.
So let's go ahead. I mean, it's kind of like I don't want to say it's the elephant in the room, but it was obviously hinted at, right? That there's a third personality, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of that hint? Like, was that just blatant? Like, how did you feel? Do you think that was subtle enough, or was it sort of ham-fisted? How he comes back and he's stabbing somebody in their stomach because, yeah, he came back as Mark, right?
Came back as Mark,
and they're like blaming him, and Steve are like blaming each other. No, it was you. No, it was you, mate. Was that kind of like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, we're not gonna go anywhere with that. We just because they didn't touch it at all again. I don't think, right? They kind of, I'll say what how they kind of hinted towards it again and what the obvious theory is in a minute, but yeah, they kind of really didn't, say anything about that again. It just he stabbed the dude in the stomach. And what'd you think of that? How they introduced that or hinted towards that?
I thought initially it was, especially after the original theory, like the theory we had or original episode we had, that so walking into how they did it, I was like, okay, we about to get to it because this was kind of what we expected, right? Based on the end of the previous episode. How when you look back on it, to me it goes along with the show altogether. It looked back on it, to me it was sloppy. Right.
Sloppy. Yeah.
Going in, like when it happened, that's my, I try to get at least one moment in the show where I'm like, hell yeah. So that was like my hell yeah moment, right? Like, okay. Right. And then, because I think it was 2 times that kind of, wasn't it 2 times in the episode? Was it 2 or was it just the one where he stabbed the dude? I felt like it was one more, but it might have been just that.
The one who killed himself, he cut the rope. He was like,
might have been just that.
Goofy, man.
But when they did it, I was hyped. As the episode ended, it was like, what was that? Was that just a nod? Because it seemed like a couple things now
are loose. It was loose, right? They never tied it up, right? It was like just loose out there.
It was just nod.
And I'm guessing it got something to do with her because Harold pretty much outed Mark and outed Conchu, he outed Mark like, hey, Layla, there's a lot of things Mark not telling you, and he'll never tell you. And Mark, I can't figure out if Mark genuinely is like confused and is like, I don't know what he's talking about, or if he really is trying to like cover something up. Like, nah, don't listen to him. He's just trying to divide us and blah blah blah. Like, I wonder if he really does. Is he really aware of something that happened, or is he unaware that maybe it was this other personality who killed those people?
I think I'm under the impression that he know.
You think he know? You think it was him?
He was talking because he was trying to do that. Hey, man, shut up. Hey, man, no, he was kind of like, hey, man,
yeah, he know.
Cut it out. So I think he know.
He got bodies, bro.
Yeah, he got bodies. But I think from my interpretation, even of the whole thing, that Mark know he got this stuff. It's just at some point in time he lost control, right? He lost control.
Mm-hmm.
But back to the part, even with the, I think it's just weird because I think they, like you said, now that you put that together, they had to show, they brought that part in so they can lead to that moment. But what does that moment ultimately really mean? Because it was hella loose. So we just showed that him stabbing and not knowing if Mark not knowing if it was Steve and Steve not knowing it was Mark, just to get to that moment with Layla to say what happened. Like, let her, like, hey, that was me, but it wasn't me. Like, did we just do that just to do that? Or are we expecting to see that come back? Because I thought that was going to be an element through the show.
Right.
And it ultimately wasn't.
It's not.
So it's now, are we throwing that away like we did with his statue friend? Right? Like, that was just a nod. So we got deep with the statue friend, my guy.
Gone.
Well, that was just a nod.
It was just a nod, bro.
It was something else that was earlier.
Yeah.
That was just a nod.
He's probably talking to himself.
Yeah, there was just a
we
nod.
theorized that, yeah.
Like, we know that's part of the Moon Knight story, but for this show, it's just a nod. Is Frenchie, was my man, this Duchamp, is the name in that phone, like we had all the Laylas, but then we saw Frenchie. Is that just a nod?
Is that just a nod?
It's something to throw in there because we only got 6 episodes. We only got 3 left.
3 left. We halfway through. Halfway point.
And it's a lot going on.
It's a lot.
To introduce Frenchie, to pay that, to cash that check on the third personality.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the third personality within that end up being Khonshu. Right?
That's what I'm
it's
thinking.
Not even Jake, it's Khonshu doing
it's fucking Khonshu, man. Is Khonshu a personality? Because
you get what I'm saying?
Or we really, because if he's not, then it's like, well, you telling me that he got 3 personalities and he's the avatar to a god. That's a lot, bro. What other character got that much going on, bro? like that's a lot, right? You got multiple personalities, you got 3 personalities, and you're the avatar for a god. I don't know. Just seemed like that seemed like a lot, bro. So I'm starting to think like, man, is this it, bro? Or is that really how much he got on his plate, or are y'all just gonna tie this together? And the reveal is Khonshu is just a personality. But I can't really think that now because you turn Khonshu into a statue. So,
and they still got to tie it to the MCU.
And you still got to tie it to MCU, which it seems like you're gonna go with the Celestial, the
kind of Eternals.
The Eternals. Sorry, man. Yeah.
Point. You still got to do it.
You got to do it. Yeah, you got to, right?
Do it. So you got all this. So you got the Layla story, right? Layla impact, the impact of the personalities, right? You have Khonshu, you got Hero, you got Amit, you got the gods, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got an MCU tie-in.
You got an MCU tie-in coming, right? Because these things happened. The snap happened. I'm still waiting, bro. And this might go into Theory Expo tomorrow, right? Or later. But are we ever going to acknowledge that there's a dead celestial cracking through the earth? When are we going to acknowledge that? What is the closest? Like, what is the closest country to that, bro? Like, what? Like, it's a crack in the earth, man. That's right. So it's like,
you know what? I kind of want to act like there's a part of me that's starting to think that Winter Soldier and them referred to it like in the early, but I don't think like when Bucky showed up.
Really?
Remember when Bucky? But they didn't. But in my mind, in the hangar, I'm about to watch that again. In the hangar,
oh shit! I gotta watch this again, bro.
But I don't think that happened.
Wait a minute, on Falcon Soldier?
I think in my mind that happened. I don't think it really happened.
On Falcon
so remember
Soldier.
when Bucky, Falcon and the Soldier. Remember when Bucky and they finally meet each other? I think it was episode 2. And they had that little talk they was having, wizards and all that, wizards, aliens and all that. And then I felt like there was some kind of throwaway line that I don't know, but it may not have ever really happened. But I felt like there was an Indian Ocean kind of mention. But I doubt it. I doubt it.
It's out there, bro.
Because that would be super dope if it was there. But I don't think that's a do it. Because they timeline got thrown off, right? Because the pandemic happened. Some things were supposed to happen before others, right?
Yeah.
Like hell, I think even WandaVision was supposed to be the show that came out now, leading into. I think that was supposed to be like the 4th episode.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow.
I think that was supposed to be the 4th episode leading into Doctor Strange. That we supposed to be eating on WandaVision now. Within the pandemic, I think
it would have been even bigger, bro. With Multiverse of Madness coming out, they would have been. You imagine, bro? I mean, because it's crazy how important that show is to this movie now. you kind of, if you go in to this movie without watching that show, you kind of blind, bro. You know
like how much of a hors d'oeuvre show that was. That's kind of we depict, we look back like how it's supposed to work, right? We have the hors d'oeuvre show that lead into a movie.
Yeah.
Like if you could do it right, like that, you figure that's the way. And that's the perfect one leading into the movie.
The perfect appetizer, right?
Right there, like, okay, now the main course coming. But we starting with this
they set up Wanda. Yeah, bro. They set her up. Scarlet Witch. Damn.
Man, I just seen the picture.
I'm starting to look back on Scarlet. I'm starting to look back on WandaVision. Like, damn, that might have.
Especially at that time, but it's like, and then I just seen the quiet, even though she was all bloody, but she was that picture they got her. She angry, she leaking.
Yeah, bro. She got like a head too. You see that?
She had like, and they said they said that's like a throwaway. I need to look at it again. That might be like a detour or what they call it. You know when Marvel gets you because they got her with an Ultron bod, right? Ultron bod, but it's leaking.
It's leaking
blood.
Bro. It's blood. That's a trail of blood.
Ultron bots ain't gonna have that.
Not unless. See, here we go. Not unless we dealing with Invincible Iron Man Ultron bots, right?
Yeah.
Where they like literally a bunch of little Ultrons running around. Because I think Ultron kind of was leaking a little bit when she tore his heart out at the end of Ultron, and
even when he first showed up, he
was leaking a little bit, bro. He had like some type of blood.
Remember,
he was very much human,
like walking around.
When he showed up,
when he showed up, and he had like that little oil was leaking. So maybe,
Ultron alive, hey, bro. They gotta bring him back, bro. They gotta figure out. They need to bring back, man. Listen, here we go on What If again. That Ultron, bro. The Ultron and What If.
It's funny how that's turning, right? That Wanda and What If. The one I saw the most are actually way more impacted.
I'm starting. Yeah, they're so impactful, bro. Because I'm looking back at them like, how I felt about WandaVision was that whole shit with Paul's boner and shit. All that shit was disappointing, but man,
they might pay that shit off in this movie though, bro. I gotta join the call in a minute, but they might pay that off in this movie. That whole even the boner thing, pause.
Yeah,
the check might get cashed in this movie.
It might. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, we did that, but there was a reason why. Oh man, bro, I can't wait, man.
Yeah, bro,
I can't wait, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna touch on it more in Theory Expo, but man, the thing I'm most hype about is I gotta see Iron Man, bro. I got it. The Illuminati. I'm sorry, the Illuminati. Who is on that council, bro?
We gotta have a Theory Expo. I seen something yesterday. Somebody did a ranking of who might show up, and it was about best 30 minutes I had yesterday. It was
I gotta find that video then. Yeah,
it was. I think it was a John Campion show.
Bet I'm gonna look it up.
They just did like a, and I'm not saying it was a great clip, but it made my mind go like it was like, okay, what's our ranking on? And they had a list. They had like, they went from Tom Cruise, Iron Man, who's gonna be in the thing.
I might get up and
it was like,
oh my god, I see McAvoy or Stewart. I'm getting up.
Man, they had it ran down. They just like, okay. Damn. And that's when I sent you the thing about the 90s, the X-Men theme song. Because they was like the idea, and like I said, theories, but it was like, would the cartoon characters show up in the movie? Because this is a good chance, because they got Agent Carter, not Agent Carter, but Captain Carter. But is it going to be her or is it going to be the cartoon one? Because she going to be, they had her shield in the damn broken glass in one of the posters. So are they going to have an animated version of Captain Carter, or is she gonna throw on the suit?
Oh,
And then it was like, hold on,
there's an
everybody's talking about X-Men, but is it like the cartoon? Because we know we got the 97 X-Men coming out. Is it the cartoon X-Men?
Hold on, this is wild.
Like, and we got two probably big ones on the horizon in the next two big trailers, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna drop another. They're gonna probably drop another Obi trailer.
Yeah,
right. Just for the fact, I'm just talking about, and then they're
Coming,
gonna have
right,
then the Thor,
Mhm.
right? The Thor trailer gonna drop at some point in time. Maybe the first
When
time
you think
might
we
be
get
on.
the Thor trailer?
They thought it was gonna be what's today, Thursday. I think the big thing was they thought it was gonna be Monday, but it didn't. So then they got I watch so much YouTube now. They got CinemaCon coming.
Damn.
This weekend, right?
Yeah.
CinemaCon is this weekend. Either WonderCon might have just passed or it's about to come up the weekend after. So they might drop it this upcoming like weekend or week. I think it's next week where CinemaCon is.
Oh, yeah, this shit
So
coming.
they might drop it because
Yeah,
I wouldn't think they're gonna wait till
right.
the Doctor Strange movie come out. But what if it's got some? What if it got some tie-in? I don't know. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
They trying to keep that. They didn't do it with the Spider-Man, right? Homecoming. Was
right.
it no Far From Home?
Yeah.
That damn trailer came out before Endgame came out.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't it? I felt like it did, where it was like, okay, Tony Stark died, and they kept showing it, and it was like, are y'all kind of giving it away in the trailer? Or maybe it was when it was early, but I felt like Endgame I got to look that up again, but I felt like Endgame hadn't dropped. It was it was like a week it was coming, but then the Homecoming trailer came out because that was a part. We at that point in time, we knew Spider-Man was alive because he got snapped, and then that was the thing.
Yeah, we knew
it was going to happen.
It was coming back.
But they dropped the trailer before Endgame had dropped, and it was like, oh wait, whoa, Spider-Man got snapped. We ain't seen Endgame yet, where they come back.
It was back. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
That's the only thing about that Thor. We'll
I saw the toy for Jane Foster for the
little hot toy or something, whatever.
Yeah.
Or was it
it was like an action figure.
Okay.
They just so it, and they got the concept art on the front. So it's like, okay, that's how Natalie Portman gonna look. It's gonna be some CGI look like involved. You know what I mean? To buffer up a little bit.
You see the set photos though?
No, I didn't see that. No.
I mean, unless they had like some prosthetics on, she was yoked.
She was yoked?
Hell yeah!
Y'all I gotta see this. Hold on.
Man, one had floated, and she just had like a bro workout shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like the half cut. You know what I'm saying?
She might have got yoked.
Hey man, she was yoked, man, and she ain't nothing but a little bite or something.
Yeah, bro, she a stubby one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she looked kind of yoked, and like they might have had some stuff on her, but them looked like she had been putting in work. I mean, it was just a set photo. Yeah.
Whoa.
Hold on. Are we talking? Let me see if I can pull that up.
Look, is that real?
That's what I'm wondering, man. That was a big deal when that happened.
Does she look a little
arms all large and whatever?
She got a small torso. Like she not. She might pull it off though, bro.
Yeah, is that her real arms?
Yeah, it look like, I don't know, man. It's a weird pose. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there might be some fake arms.
Yeah, it might be like a copy and paste or something.
Or like they like it's
like
the shirt or something. I don't know.
Maybe a stunt double or something, but it don't even look like a dude. Like it looked like a dude's body with her head.
Like the lower dude.
Yeah. Because I just don't see why she would be standing like that. Unless they just caught her at a really weird.
Oh, like the Beyonce?
Yeah.
Hey, man.
If she come out like that, I wonder if they're gonna follow the comic book where she has like cancer. And...
Suppose that's what it is.
Damn.
And then every time she uses it, right? It either makes her cancer, like she makes it. Is that how the comic book run? And when she kind of gets mirror,
yeah,
it like makes it worse. I wonder if I can do this. Let me see. Let's go.
Wow. That's interesting. You got Valkyrie. Like, I wonder how much Thor is going to be in the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
I wonder if we're going to get Beta Ray Bill.
Because they were showing that, I think in his thing that came up, right? His situation that came up, it was, they were showing that it's like his toy, whatever that came out, it was Ravager Thor.
Wow.
You know, that's what they titled it, Ravager Thor, because he rocking the Guardians joint, you know, right? He getting busy with them.
That's and they in it, right?
Yeah, they in it.
Yeah.
That's what you wonder. Like I say, when you look at, we was talking about Doctor Strange earlier, the movie only like 2 hours. It's literally 2 hours runtime, right? 2 hours 4. So
that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot to squeeze in 2 hours, bro.
And 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they're gonna do this, that, and the third in 2 hours.
Yeah, right.
You know,
I can see if you gave me like, if you was like 3 hours, I'd be like, oh, this shit in game.
So a lot of things get cut out.
A lot of shit got cut out.
Meaning if we have a run thing of like, okay, we know. So if they put Patrick Stewart in the trailer, if they allow him to be in the trailer, so what you really got going on in this multiverse, right? If you comfortable with putting him in the trailer, right? Because you wouldn't even put Andrew and my guy. We knew they was in the movie. You still wouldn't let them nowhere near it.
I don't think that ever was a trailer, even after the release where they was in it.
I think they just now putting them out.
They just
like I saw one today.
Yeah,
because they got the video, because they got the Blu-ray come out.
Yeah,
or the physical, when they call it physical media. I don't even know what they call it, but yeah, the digital joint. But the digital been out, right?
Right.
It's I got you got the digital joint.
Yeah, I'm about the digital. I might get the Blu-ray. I might get it.
But what's the name? It's coming out because people got mad today because I guess all those hours of deleted scenes is not, they were promoting. It's not in It's not in it. But yeah, I think because of that, they decided to put that out there. They got the videos and they got the little trailers with all three of them, and then they actually showing them coming through the portal. Wow. I'm about to watch it because I've only ever seen the movie one time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I watched it. I watched it a few times after I bought it.
I seen it in the theater the one time, and I kept saying I was gonna go back, and I was just like,
yeah, I never did go back to the theater.
I ain't go back to the theater, and then I was just like, I kind of want to see that extra time because I remember how dope. I come on here and hate, but I'm still a fan. Meaning, like, I can't lie about that moment. Like, I'm going retroactively hate.
Right.
I'm gonna show love, but I'm going retroactively hate. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm a hate on Multiverse of Madness when it drops. I'm gonna pick that thing apart. When I'm sitting in that theater and damn Ed Norton show up.
Yeah. Right, like
Ed Norton, goddamn.
Man,
you get what I'm saying?
This one about to slap, bro.
In there, because when I was like, if I talk to you about No Way Home today, I'm hating.
Yeah. Oh, I'm hating. Yeah.
When I was in there,
right.
The only person that was more fan than me when I was in there, I think there was like some 15-year-old girl a couple seats down from me, and she might have been the only one that was more fan than I was. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She might have been the only one, and only because she could be outward. My shit was inward. So all that she was doing, I was in the side like,
when Toby showed up, I was like,
I'm done.
This shit is amazing. That second half of that movie was for me. That third act or whatever was like, this shit dope.
That shit was dope.
Because I was hating. When the villain showed up, I was hating. Like, man, this Aunt May just a complete idiot. Like, what do you do? Do you want salt water or huh?
Yeah.
Well, you're an octopus. Like, Aunt May just a complete dumbass in this one. Okay. That's how we gonna do this. Aunt May is just a complete dumbass this movie. Okay.
Instantly.
And then no, you gotta heal him and all this. That didn't make sense to me. You gotta heal him? No. Send him back to the universe. No, it's your responsibility. It's like, okay, whatever. But when Andrew showed up in the kitchen It was took his mask off, and then Toby came in afterwards, and they like squared off, and then
I'll never forget that, man.
Was like knew it was coming too.
I knew that shit was coming, man. Like
knew that shit
I knew that was about to happen. We knew it was about to happen.
Still
right.
slime.
Like even when I synced the thing happening, I didn't get it at first when they went, and then something clicked like, oh, this when they about to come through. But I'm not gonna even lie like that. I probably was still sitting there like, this motherfucker got a portal. I was still in hate mode, like, but they got Ned doing portals.
Ned can do portals now.
You know, supposedly that's when Chavez was gonna show up. I don't know if you had heard about that.
No, I hear about that.
They were going to introduce America Chavez there, but then they just thought to say that for later and let that be Ned that did that. Right.
Okay, bro. I mean,
we already,
like anybody know who that is? Like, really, bro? I don't know, but
yeah, that probably was just an idea they had, right?
Yeah.
Meaning, like, because that makes sense. Like, nobody really never.
Yeah,
that's a tough introduction, right? At that time,
tough one, bro.
Considering we've already had 2 other movies where we built these other characters up, and then all these other movies where everybody it probably wasn't a good moment for a new character, right?
Yeah,
but yeah, that was a thought that they were going to put America in because of that portal part, like some way, shape, or form. The portal was going to be because her, but then obviously they threw the Ned part. But I was about to lie and be like, I knew. I was still sitting there because, you know, I'm sitting there, can't enjoy the movie because I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen next instead of just sitting back and watching. And then it was like, oh, shit. This is where Andrew show up. Because I knew that I could see the Spider-Man like,
yep.
Oh, no, that's not Toby.
When he turned around and like,
yeah, that's not what's my guy? The new guy?
Fucking yeah,
yeah, whatever his name is.
Tom Holland and shit. Yeah.
But and that's that's not Holland.
Because I'm a Holland Spider-Man hater, bro.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Least favorite Spider-Man. I remember I sent you a text one time. I was hating on his web slinging. You know, I'm like, he got the livest web slings and shit. Like, you know, just because he's such a, you know, it's like a negative. Negative in the sense of like -1, right? Like he's such a Spider-Man that's working in the negative, right? Where he's so not yet Spider-Man for those first 2 movies, all the way up until the end of this movie, up until the end of the 3rd movie. Like he's literally negative Spider-Man. Like
that's a fact.
He's 0 years for like 2 years. He's not really Spider-Man. He hasn't earned it yet. He hasn't suffered like a major loss. They never even showed the Uncle Ben scene, which was cool. I was grateful they didn't go through the same origin story, but of course, he didn't become Spider-Man to the end of the movie, where it was like, all right, you guys making your own suit, you're gonna fight crime, you're gonna live in the neighborhood, you're actually gonna stay in New York. You ain't just going away with Stark, you know, on these missions with Stark and Nick Fury. You're Spider-Man.
Yeah, that was like we got 3 movies to get to the origin of the true guy. You say and I think we've been consistent in saying that. I think the only thing that kind of like it's like, wow, this dude was in the MCU and they didn't really have. I don't know, people could enjoy it. I'm hating, but I know people enjoy that. But it was like we had that version of Spider-Man in peak MCU. You get what I'm saying?
We did.
But like we'll never get that opportunity again where that Cap, that Iron Man, and a Spider-Man. You get what I'm saying?
That's live, yeah.
Like we'll never get that. Like whenever they redo it, it's gonna happen in its own way. But that moment, and they had Spider-Man, but it was that Spider-Man.
Yeah, he'll take the reins.
He really wasn't Spider-Man. Like so he hadn't, you know, Spider-Man got a what's the term about for him that when something good happened, you know, two bad things happen. Like there's a Spider-Man term, Peter Parker term, like it's always gonna fuck up for Peter Parker, right? He ain't gonna just something gonna fuck up when he try to get ahead. It's gonna go bad. Like that guy don't pain, right? But I say I like to say this. I was the biggest fan in the history of America when I was watching that shit. And we talked about it earlier. When the crack open, pause. When that shit, when that rift in the sky happened, all my dreams, man, was up there like,
yeah, bro. That was live.
Anything right now, man.
Yeah. I saw IGN put out where they like ranked the characters that was already identified the characters that was in the crack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't read it, but yeah, man, they had everybody up there supposedly, man. But yeah, you're right, man. When you said like the X-Men was coming through, I didn't even think of that until you said it. I'm like, damn, you're
That's
right,
where my
man.
mind went. I mean, obviously it was
That could have been
Spider-Man. They was gonna have
everybody.
Rhino and Black Cat and all this and all
Yeah.
that. But for me, damn, what they gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
Because everybody knows Spider-Man, you know, like
What they gonna do?
the X-Men do know Spider-Man, you know, so
Like they actually pulled that shit off. And that was a whole nother thing too. Like, damn, they actually pulled it off. They really did. Like
that shit was live. They was like
really
stepping
did.
forward, like,
like they really got to that point. They really successfully. So yeah, I got a hard when they get to the to this multiverse of madness. It's a hard
tough to act to follow, you're right.
Yeah, and I seen something that kind of I watched something that kind of got me scared earlier. Like, because we've been using this word a lot lately with the fucking Moon Knight. This may be the exposition period for the MCU. This may be an exposition movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which, because if they don't really do like the Loki thing, meaning like, because like Loki was supposed to be the exposition of multiverses.
Yeah.
But then it was an area. Yeah, but it was an area where we were kind of talking about timelines versus a multiverse, right? Like, and then they got they kind of
two different things.
If you step back, because there was a time variance authority, but then they were like, you could create a multiverse or you can create a new timeline, and then they were kind of like intertwined in the terms. Right. So what was it really about, time, or was it about multiverses, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of conversation. So they might even try to clip when they kept saying that Loki, clip the branches. They might even be doing that in this movie from that.
Facts.
Because it don't really lead in, when you really think about it, it don't really lead in to this. It don't really lead into this.
Yeah,
but then you have the variants, right?
Right.
So I don't know, but that show spent a lot of time in exposition, right? Explaining things.
A lot.
This movie may have to re-explain things.
Right? Yeah, because it can't lean on the time travel, right?
No,
you know, in the variants and these branched off timelines. Now it's about, I think it's more so going to be about the damage that Doctor Strange did to the multiverse, because his variants are like they all crazy, you know, they all renegades, and I think you're going to have to deal with the consequences of that by being the one that step up and, you know.
You think he going in? You think what? Because I'm of the belief that, I told you this. I don't think it's a continuation. I think it's more of everything, not just you did this on the way home and you should have done it, right? I think, and I even think what may happen in this movie is that he's actually initially going to try to help Wanda on some. I mean, think about what he was doing with what's her name? Right, what he was doing with Peter. Like, they ain't even got no relationship.
Right. He was like, yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Don't worry. Like, Wong told him, don't do that shit. I'm gonna do that shit.
Yeah, but
like he might mess around, be trying to help Wanda, and then he really about to get reprimanded for even starting when he starts messing up, starts fucking up. Then they come get him. Now Wanda coming to get everybody.
Yeah, because ultimately she want her kids back and her family back, right?
Yeah. And he tried to find that area. Okay, I can help you. Fuck you doing, Strange? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now we get to the I don't want to come to tribunal. They way doper than the tribunal. What are they?
The Illuminati. Yeah.
Illuminati come in like, you know what I'm saying? Now shit got real.
Yeah, because they run shit, right?
Because all that shit in the thing might be early. Like even Wanda helping.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got her next to Wong and they trying to fight. That's early.
Yeah. You think that's early?
I think that's early.
Wow.
I think that's early. I don't think Wanda, that part where she was kind of helping, she had the tear come down her face, which is dope. And then her and Wong get up and I just watch first in my mind. They jump on the thing and then I think that's early in the movie. I just think I could be totally wrong. I'm probably going to be totally wrong. I think
see where you're
ultimately, Strange is trying to help. He's going to because he don't really have no regard for that kind of stuff. He's going to try to help her.
Mm-hmm. I think he tries to help her. He gives her a multiverse, a universe where she has everything. And the moment he realized, oh shit, no, I gotta pull back. I gotta pull that back. Actually, I can't give you that because if I give you that, it's consequences for that. It's now I gotta take that back. Now, Scarlet Witch, she snapped chaos magic, just she wreaking havoc. Eventually, like you said, the Illuminati come in like, hey man, listen, you gotta fix this shit.
This is what happens when you do that, and now you seeing and all that stuff, but shit done went sideways. I think the only thing that happens later, the one thing that happens later is the introduction of some of his other strangers because now shit is sideways. They need multiple strangers to even try to even attempt to work with Wanda.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, where he pulling from I can't do this alone, So he pulling from different.
Which is an extra fuck up.
Yeah. So now he really he just keep digging himself a hole where it's like, man, I gotta get Strange Supreme, and she too powerful. She about to destroy all of reality, which she's capable of doing, right? Like eating away at universes. All to keep her family together. Which I don't know. I don't think Vision is gonna come back. I think her kids are gonna. You've seen in the trailer, her kids are there. Her kids are definitely gonna come back. But so we agree though so we think Wanda is the villain.
Yeah, I think Wanda the villain.
I think she the renegade. She the wild card.
They'll
lead you, like you said, they'll lead you in the beginning to think that she's an ally.
And there'll be some other things to fight.
Yeah.
Right.
And there'll be another, right. There'll be a villain. There'll be not a villain, but I want to say red herring. But ultimately, Wanda be like, I'm not giving this back again.
Because they're going to take it away from her.
They're going to have to take it away. It's like,
they're going to take it away from her. She's going to find that out.
Yeah. And somebody from the future might come and be like, that might be the Illuminati. Like, look, this is what happens if you don't fix this right now. We're all that's left. And we're from a different timeline. Because, you got, they saying they're going to have Superior Iron Man.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then I gotta imagine some version of Professor X gotta step in and be like, yeah, this is what happened. We are all that's left. If you don't fix this now, this is it. We're coming to you now to try to fix this.
They bringing them in on some arresting shit, but it really ain't.
Yeah, it's like,
or
no,
maybe
you're
that's
really the only one that can help us.
Maybe that scene where you see Mordo take the thing and he go ahead and release Strange because it looked like they fighting, but to me it looked like he really trying to cut it because now Wanda came through.
Yeah, Wanda just wrecking shit, right?
So they may have went and got, I'm with you. They went and got Strange. They went in because it looked like in there, if you even look in the trailer, there's that one scene with Wanda walking through. I think America in one of the cases, because they didn't caught America, the one where they got Palmer and all. I think they didn't caught America, and now Strange is up in but Wanda done found out where that is. I think was probably I could see that. What didn't happen is he didn't help her. He helped her. Strange is strange. Like it fits what he's been doing.
Yeah.
So he gonna go help her, right? And as soon as he do that, he throw, like you say, now he about to. We got to come get you, and we got to take that away from Wanda.
But what? I got you.
Like they may have arrested, whatever it was, because she's still at the point where she ain't about to do damage to people until she know the people that did this to her. Now she full on because she still got a soul. She still got, what I'm saying? Because she could have kept what she was doing, and I mean they went out their way to show that she wasn't an evil person, even though she did some evil shit in Westview, right?
It's still got to be some recompense for her actions, right? But we still, if you have to see that, we already seen the trailer. He kind of forgive her, like, I'm not here to talk about what's the town name and shit.
Westview.
I'm not here to talk about Westview.
Fuck.
So that's what I'm saying. Shit. So that's what I'm getting at. So What entices
Like
Strange?
now, B. I'm like, now, go ahead. My bad.
What? No, you good?
Shit.
Nah, I'm like too. What do you think entices Strange to come to Wanda? Because it's something. He's coming to her for a reason, and he's already forgiving Westview because he needs something,
He
right?
said, "What do you?"
Because
know
he
about
really
the
should be coming there
multiverse?"
to deal with Wanda for that shit. Like you need to, but he's like, no. And we know in the What If show, Strange Supreme, that's his name, right?
Yeah.
He
My Funko Pop over here.
Yeah. His motivation, right? His motivation was the woman.
Was that Christine?
Christine.
Is that her name? Christine Palmer?
I think so. She kept dying. We see in the trailer, Christine is getting married, and it doesn't look like.
My bad. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
Nah.
When you really think about going back like that was kind of fucked. That's when the show turned up when they did when that episode.
That was a great episode, bro. I really like that character. But we see Strange Supreme, his motivation. We see in the trailer, he's looking at Christine get married, and it don't look like they getting married together. So it's like,
yeah, and he looked older, but go ahead.
And he looked older, so maybe that's his future. Maybe something happens to her. Is she the motivation that pushes him to go to alternative means, which would be because it's a little bit out of his realm, right? His he don't got the time stone no more. So how do I control reality? How can I'm gonna go to somebody who already created an entirely new reality. I'm gonna go to.
Also, he might be self-serving in this point. Like,
yeah,
I'm not trying to. I need that ending for me.
I need to figure. Yeah, I want the wife and kids.
Because we saw him do that.
Right.
Meaning, it's not precedent is set. We saw that in What If. That happened in What If. He kept trying to accept him dying. She died, right? That's the moment of time from the. But he kept trying to change
a fixed point,
which
pushed him over the edge to become. He became so powerful that all that was in motivation to fix a fixed point in time, to change a fixed point in time, and that's how we got Strange Supreme. Don't know if he's in this movie. Seems like he is, but they kind of coy on the whole thing.
Yeah, you see a lot of stuff where they're saying that's a different kind of Strange.
Yeah.
Because you got Defender Strange. That's what we see in the guy that's kind of falling through the portals. And then that Strange, they called him something. And then people are like, no, that's not Defender Strange. That ain't Strange Supreme. I'm like, as soon as I seen that, I was like, oh, that's Strange fucking Supreme. You ain't got to told me.
Octopus arms and shit.
I'm like, man, I don't know what I watch What If be.
Tentacles and shit like that. He definitely looked like Strange Supreme.
I said, man, I watched
yeah.
I watched What If. I was the biggest hater when that jumped off. I said, no, I watched What If. That's Strange Supreme.
Great character.
The shit that was happening in the background, like with the the background got all oily and everything, and it was reality was drifting away. Like, nah, we synced that. That was in What If. No, that's not. Okay, I'm gonna be shocked. Yeah, you got to prove it to me.
You gotta prove it to me. Otherwise, I'm thinking that's what it is. Y'all trying to.
That was the first thing I thought when I saw when they start showing any Doctor Strange 2 trailers or any footage we saw. I was like, so I didn't waste my time watching What If. Mind you, we got better then. It was brutal at first because everything was like happy endings. It just didn't really, you know what I'm saying? It was served. It was like a kid show. Yeah, it was just like it just really didn't. It was cute. I'm like, they just reinvented
feeling Captain Carter.
Yeah, it just was cute. It was cute. Then when it was like, I think it was the Strange episode, it was like, oh. But they had the zombie one, they had the Strange one. I was like, cool, I'm good money.
Here go the final trailer right here. Let me just take a look at this. So, yeah, man, she carrying a head that's leaking, bro. That I'm getting into it, man. So again, we talked about okay, who we know the Illuminati is coming. Who's my question to you is, who is Iron Man Supreme? Supreme Iron Man. If we got him in there, I think we got him. We gotta have him. We gotta have something, right? Because there's drones. There's the guards, right? But who is it? Who do you think it is? Because I got my theories.
Who I think the actor playing him?
Think about it.
I feel like I need to come up with something because I think we already there's so much out there we're saying is well, no, it's Tom, right?
Right. A lot of people saying it's Tom. They got one leaked image. I'll be cool. Shit, Tom gonna bring it, bro.
Oh, it'd be dope as Tom.
You
think it's gonna be?
But I'm gonna tell you why it's not Tom. Why I don't think it's Tom.
Okay. You have my interest.
Right. Here's the thing. All right. You want to answer it or you want me to give you
go ahead? Because I ain't really because I'm like,
I got you.
I ain't even think of it a different way outside. Now you got me scrambling. I kind of think I know where you're going, but
here's the thing. Supreme Iron Man is a villain at the end of the day.
Okay.
He's not like Tony Stark. He got Infinity Stones. Motherfucker's a villain, you know.
Isn't he early? Go ahead.
No, I think they had a comic book run called Superior Iron Man where he was the villain, where they end up fighting him or whatever.
Is he not a Kang?
I was about to go there. So
my bad. Damn it. My bad.
So here's the thing.
I think
it's Kang, bro. I think that's Kang in the trailer, bro. I think that's Superior Iron Man. I think Superior Iron Man, aka Iron Lad, is Kang. I think that's the Superior Iron Man that we're gonna meet because they're not bringing Robert Downey Jr. back, bro. And it's unlikely even that they would even get Tom Cruise, man. Like if they did, that'd be a big shock. But I think that would have leaked heavier by now, right? I think we would know Tom Cruise is in the movie. We know Kang got different variants that's gonna be popping up throughout MCU shows and movies.
Yeah.
But in this case, I think that, and we even see the dude flying in the trailer, right? Look a lot like Kang. I think that's Superior Iron Man. And I think Superior Iron Man is gonna be Kang. I think that's who it's gonna be, bro. I think they gonna end up battling him. I think they'll probably kill him off because he's not the villain. He's not the main villain, but it's just gonna be another reminder because I can't see this movie not having Kang in it. A multiverse movie.
You gotta have Kang.
Because Kang
some
is
kind of like
he technically started the multiverse. Like he's literally the first. He who remains. He told him, like, man, you kill me. This is where it all begins. This is where we get the branching timelines and all that, right?
And that image, look, people trying to tell me that was Tom, like, nah, first, that's somebody black.
Yeah.
Right?
That's Kang, bro. I think that's Kang.
So it's either somebody already thick or that's somebody in the black person in some armor.
Some
you
armor.
know what I'm saying?
I think it's superior armor. I think he got 3 of the Infinity Stones, or maybe they don't do the Infinity Stones. But we know Infinity Stones are still intact in different universes. I think this motherfucker got 3 of them. And he'll still be manageable with 3 Infinity Stones as opposed to all of the Infinity Stones like Thanos had. I think they're gonna battle this dude, man. And they're gonna have he's gonna be like a little sub boss.
Look at this image right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's the guy, man. Based off the images. Him being we know it's a version in the comics called Iron Lad.
Iron Lad is the young, like realistically, Iron Lad is a young Kang, right?
Kang, yeah. I think that's how they kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah, fuck.
I think that's how they do it. Man, these images like just completely give it away. Unless they did something to these, you could clearly see a black dude's face. It look a little, yeah, but that's what I think, man. That mask, the style of that mask, right? Because Superior Iron Man don't really got a helmet. He got like the crown almost, like
Yeah.
And he got like the thing on his face, you know, but his face is pretty much exposed. Yeah, there we go. That's Kang, bro. Come on. I'm trying to think what Infinity Stones would he have that would make him look like that, or maybe he just got different powers. But that's my theory for the most part is Kang's in this movie, and he's Superior Iron Man. That's live. That's Sam Raimi right there, man. That's what I'm wondering, man. I'm like 2 hours though, bro. 2 hours. Because even the director before Raimi wanted to make like a straight up horror movie. He wanted to do horror. He wanted people to be scared. They said, nah, bro. You know, Kevin Feige, like, nah. Nah, bro.
They were saying that it's gonna be the MCU's first horror flick.
Yeah, he like, nah. He like, bro, we can't be rated R out here. I mean, it damn near looked like one. Because Wanda putting in work. My thing is though, 2 hours and you did reshoots. That means it's a totally different movie. Not like you added time. You took away time and you replaced scenes.
And it's probably they probably. I wonder what happened, especially after the once they got to when they got around No Way Home, right? That some of the experience they had, it was like, okay, we were able to get some people. They were able to get some people that they couldn't get before. You get what I'm saying? So let's say like if they got Krasinski, right? Mm-hmm. You know, everybody want, you know, it's always on TV for him to be Mr. Fantastic. And right. So if that happens, they able to get him like, okay, we got a slot. We can actually have him up in the Illuminati, up on one of them chairs. We can actually go get, okay, Jonathan, he done finished up doing Creed, or I guess he's doing Creed now. We can put him up there for real, right? Or just some people that they may have wanted to and you know me, I can't forget that image of seeing the same thing that happened with No Way Home. The Professor X and Jean Grey and all them leaving that airport. I think they was leaving Atlanta or something. It was right around reshoot time. You get what I'm saying?
Niggas in the movie, man.
You get what I'm saying? It was like
they in the movie.
We're going to run our list down soon.
Yeah,
you know who gonna hype me? I think I got one real hyped. I told you it's a lot. Ed Norton. I heard somebody said that yesterday, and I was like, man, if I see fucking Ed Norton, I ain't even think of that. I didn't think that was something I'd be hyped for.
But what's the implications of that, though? What's the implications? Because it's not like
you can't just have. I'm with you.
I not to cut you off, but I could see if it was. What's the dude name that was in literally that first Hulk movie?
The first one, like early 2000.
Yeah, that banner.
Yeah.
That's a different universe, right?
Yeah.
This is supposed to Ed Norton and
it could never happen.
They're supposed to be the same guy. So I'm just wondering.
It'd be like if they did Terrence Howard. If they did Terrence Howard.
Yeah. Then you just kind of like
it's the same guy.
Right.
It's not you're right. Damn, you just killed.
That's confusing because it's like
you killed. That was you right. It makes sense. And damn.
They might do it. I'm just saying.
I mean, it's no way
Yeah.
Unless they do a situation where, because that's a theory that Wanda actually had been changed things. That's the reason we ain't had mutants. You get what I'm saying?
We did.
There was a world before, but Wanda had already did a no mutants.
Yes,
because they're gonna have to do that play.
Yeah, because give me my mutants, man.
You gotta do that, man. You're gonna have to do.
You're gonna have to do it, bro.
So, and then it has to be that. So regardless if we get mutants, we got to have the moment where she said no more mutants. And then the whole theater going to erupt.
She gonna say exactly. Or because they do this sometimes, right? You know how they did with Avengers Assemble. You know how long they waited. They waited. They
waited so long.
Remember how they waited, bro?
I didn't even think I cared that much until they did it. I actually hadn't even paid attention.
Remember how they teased it though?
They did it.
Avengers, dun, 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 dun. And it was like, man, is he ever gonna say it? But
I never
the point
knew
I'm
how
getting
much I
to,
cared about that until it happened.
The no more mutants part. What did she say? A world with mutants.
Yeah. I don't want them to do it. Like I hope they do it, right? But I still want to have it like where we actually went to that point where she said,
"No more mutants." That's
like the genesis of it. And that's why we never saw. That's why we haven't seen them. But get what I'm saying? In our where we at. That's why Patrick Stewart can be where he was. And then when they kind of flip it back, next thing you know, we see Fassbender. Pause. Damn. God damn if they put Magneto in there like that.
Oh, he the guy too. Don't replace him. He's perfect. He's still young enough. Because Magneto's ain't really supposed to be young anyway. That's the guy, bro.
So if that happened, you get that situations, right? You get they pay that check, they cash that check with Evan Peters. Just like because she bring them back, but we show that moment where she was like, something happened. No more
mutants. Damn. That's gotta happen, bro. You
almost
gotta give her own movie. Like you gotta do the House of M movie, or like you said, that's perfect though, bro. If that theory is true about there was mutants and she snapped them out of it, like she took them out of existence. First of all, that's powerful as fuck. Because like, damn, are you Thanos? Like, you did it without Infinity Stones. You could just make people not exist. You could make a whole species of people. But she did it in the comics. She literally had people going through regular life. Like, what's a mutant? What? Had Wolverine like working at the deli or something. Like, I'm making that part up, but she had like people just doing regular shit. Like, mutants. What's a mutant? And even after that, even after they brought him back, it was only like a certain part of the population. Like she did so much damage they couldn't even bring back all the mutants right away. So they were salty at her for like a decade, right? So
that's the thing. So we can go a lot of ways, and that's crazy. We're in this day and time now where we actually saying it's only 2 hours.
It's only 2 hours, B. That's a lot.
It's going to be a fast pace.
They got to be hitting.
Like they right. So even the things we see, like so we're gonna get the different cameos. We're gonna be see them falling through the different.
And they're not gonna focus in on them, right?
We get nods more like. Yep. I think the biggest ones we're gonna get are in the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Right.
Where I ain't even. Yeah, you're right. Kaczynski can be in there.
Like,
all you gotta do is sit at the table. That's it. Once you see him, you're like, oh shit, and it'll be a variant of him probably.
Yeah,
but we know, but they do that with other characters, where we seeing a variant. Like, damn, but we getting the idea of, like they used to do that on Doctor Who a lot. Like, when you see somebody, a future version of somebody, and then you see the present day version, you're like, okay, all we need to see is Kaczynski sitting there, beard. Four insignia right here, and just sit down like, he bitter, you know what I mean? Because in his reality, wife done Sue dead, Johnny dead, Ben dead. That's what I think. I just think the Illuminati gonna be survivors, bro. I mean, they're gonna be the last.
I'll put it like this, and I got another one for you for that one. I think they're gonna have a Black Panther up there. But just with the thing on. The thing you'll never come off.
Might be a female version too, but yeah, I see what you're saying.
I think they're gonna have a Panther up there.
Yeah. You know what I said about Black Panther though.
You didn't even I know you had a theory you actually never dropped.
I was saying, should it go back to Kang, bro? Just let Kang be the new Black Panther.
Oh, we talked about that before.
Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah,
we
that's what I'm saying. Just let him do it. Shit, you got Jonathan Majors. He don't have to be a villain. He just exists as Kang. He don't not all the Kangs are bad.
Yeah, facts.
Most of them are, but this Kang can be like,
or not bad yet.
Yeah, where it's like, where that becomes the arc, right? Where his sister got to convince him, not his sister, but T'Challa's sister got to convince this it's a descendant, this descendant of the family, like, hey, look, you got a responsibility. We can go this way or you can go that way. You know what I mean? And how that conflict where he looked like they enemy, but he actually, he gonna be their savior, and it solves the black,
not having
the replacement for Chad. For Chad, you got Jonathan Majors. He more than capable. He can pull that shit off.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, he can pull that shit off. He got the physicality, pause and shit. But he can do that. He can do the accent. He just from the future.
I think we're gonna have Black Panther. I don't ever think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a silent Black Panther.
Yeah,
right.
That's
we're gonna have a Black Panther.
Damn.
I think we're gonna have a Namor.
Yes, we're gonna get the introduction of Namor. They setting shit up.
I think we're gonna have obviously. I think gotta have Reed Richards.
Yeah, I think we see Krasinski. We don't know if Krasinski's the guy or not.
I agree. Like we already understand that there was gonna be an Iron Man, but I'm with you. That's Majors.
I think Majors got it.
That's
because you
Majors.
can't unless you if you ain't got Tony.
They gotta,
I'm getting up in the. Y'all niggas see this?
It's Tony. Oh man,
Tony Starks.
Yeah.
If I see Tom Cruise, nigga, it's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
That shit'll be amazing. If I see Tom Cruise, because he gonna own that shit, bro.
What's the where am I at? I got. Obviously, we got Superior Arm, so I'm not breaking ground, right?
Yeah.
We already knew Patrick Stewart.
Patrick Stewart gonna be there.
We got Superior Iron Man, right? So then now I'm saying, if we fill them out, we're going 6 chairs, right?
Yeah. You saw 6 chairs, right?
We got 6 chairs. I'm going with 6 until they tell me it's 5. Now I need to look again.
And I'm cross-referencing that with what they be doing in the comics, right?
Right.
Because Strange on the fucking council. So it might be another variant of Strange. Like, I made a judge you too, nigga.
Somebody might get kicked off. Somebody might take an L in the movie, and Strange take that spot. Hold on, let me get my thoughts together. Okay, before I even call that one. Okay,
yeah,
because it's usually they usually have Black Bolt, because that was one people was asking, like, what's the predictability of Inhuman showing up? Like,
they had a show, nigga.
And the show didn't slide.
They just completely ignore him.
Yeah, so
that shit had big implications. Like they was on the moon.
Yeah.
They was trying
to sneak that in, went in with the shield and all that. Just didn't. So hold on, let me go where I'm at.
They felt the snap.
I got Professor X. Got Professor X. Already known. Professor X, already known. Superior Iron Man.
Yep.
I told you there were going to be a silent Black Panther, right? Namor.
Yeah.
Reed Richards.
Yep.
I don't have Strange in there yet, but it has to be a Strange.
I think it's gonna be a Strange.
You think it's a Strange variant? Because I had one more person. Now I'm gonna lose it.
Because he's always.
So it's almost like I'm replacing Black Bolt with somebody. Then, right?
You got to be
doing that would be Panther. Is the
Yeah.
Panther? Is that who I'm replacing with to myself?
It's got to be, yeah.
Because it really wouldn't be Panther. I think sometimes he is, but really it's Black Bolt, right?
Black Panther is on there. Sometimes, yeah. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, he's been on there before. But yeah, the team that I'm seeing the mostly is consistent of Black Bolt and Namor on top of them other people, and a regular Iron Man, not even a Superior Iron Man.
Yeah. It's Black Bolt. So I'm replacing Bolt. It's a live ass crew right here. I might just say this picture and throw that on the thing. Damn.
You think they gonna call him the Illuminati? Probably not.
I ain't even think of that. It's probably got some kind of council name, ain't it?
Yeah, because I gotta think that they're gonna be like, oh no, that's problematic. Calling somebody some characters the Illuminati.
I don't think this movie gonna slap.
Yeah. Yeah, here they got Iron Man. They got Iron Man, Black Panther with Black Bolt. This shit about to be live.
Damn. Oh man, if this movie don't slap. Oh! What is going on?
Hold on, hold on. Oh, that's outside. Okay. What to say, but yeah. This shit, man.
Yeah, I just think, like I say, going back, I think how it's gonna start is gonna be Strange. So there's a part I have to fill out, like, because they do have battles, and there's a reason why he needs her help.
Yeah.
So I don't know if him needing her help is you help me, I'll help you. So there could have been a situation off the shit that he's done, and maybe that's where they tie in No Way Home. I mean, they did some stupid shit in Morbius, but it may have been based on some real shit, right?
Yeah, it might be.
Like, we're gonna be at his opportunity, just don't fuck it up, and they went out of their way to fuck it up. But it probably was based on the fact that, yo, Strange, you did some bullshit, and the bill now is due, right?
Yep.
Like, so he needed Wanda's help, right? He needed Wanda's help to try to, and then to help him, if she help him, like you said, I'll get you back on the lunchbox. You get me, I'll get you.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I can't speak to what he need her help with, but we know that's early.
Yeah.
And a fake, and we know it's gonna be trippy is that they in a fake yard that she done put together. She that strong where they got trees and shit.
Yes. She literally lives in a bubble that she created. And like outside of that, it's like her just meditating pretty much, right?
Shit might be
two versions of her.
It might be Sokovia where they at.
Yeah.
You're right. And then she's sitting outside of the thing, living a whole nother life inside. The former Sokovia. It's probably rubble and shit. She done put that shit together. Fuck.
Where he walking up to the house, because you see in the trailer, it's like he walking up to like this fucked up house. That might be right, man. That might be her old house. That might be Sokovia.
She done built a whole new bubble in there.
He like, damn, you this fucking powerful? You can just do this?
That's what he was looking around like.
Because he like, you know about the multiverse. Or no, he asked him, like, what do you know about the multiverse?
I wonder at what point he said that to when, like, because she hits him with the line, like, you know, some people do things, they heroes. I do something. How fair is that? Whatever that line she hit, I wonder if, like, he come at her and then he got to change his whole tune. Like, wait, hold on. Shit starting to turn red around here. Now I need your help, Wanda.
You're right.
Wanda, I ain't here to get you with nothing. I ain't here to talk about Westview.
Because what do Wanda want? Wanda want one thing. That's kids. She want her family back with Vision. The real Vision out there somewhere, White Vision, whatever the hell. He not gonna be a part of this, but she want them kids back, bro. And what she's and it's thought of what she's doing at the end with the book and all that shit at the end of WandaVision. It's like, all right, I'll dip into the multiverse to get my kids. Or I'll become powerful enough where I can just really just create my kids and just live in my own world without having to hypnotize an entire town, or keep an entire town.
I'm not going to impact no other.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm just going to dip into the multiverse and pull a version of my kids out of one of the universes. Is that what she doing? Like, was she just, or she like, when you see her in the trailer looking up at her kids, and it's like, they like, damn, where you come from? She like, man, I done ripped open all reality to get y'all here. And now Strange like, whoa, wait a minute. You ain't tell me it was going to cost that. Like, that was the trade-off. Like, I just wanted to get my Christine,
The Wanda, it's going to be another Wanda that told her what really happened.
Damn.
You think these people, what movie was I just watching that was just like that? Well, something I just watched where it's like, basically like, you think they on your side, they really not. Let me show you.
Variants, man. Right. Fuck. I think it is gonna be multiple Wandas, right?
Because that might not be in that one scene. That might not be like a what they call that astral plane, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, when they come out, where they're with a like when they get out of their body and that thing that the ancient one be doing and shit. But Wanda was actually the dopest because she was the one that could be alive while doing it. I mean, not alive, but awoke.
Yeah.
Everybody else got to be slumped.
Yeah.
She the only
Strange
one
was doing it, but he was
awoke.
slumped. He was reading books. He was slumped. She doing it
when they knock Hulk out his body. Hulk was on the side, like slumped with a Hawaiian hat on, like
had Peter out slumped on his feet, like you know what I mean? Still reflexes still intact, like
I think they said he connected by the the web, right?
Yeah.
So he got his own multiverse thing with it because of the web.
He literally does.
Connected him.
He literally does.
So that's how he was able. Supposedly, that's how he was able to still do all that because his astral plane it ain't the same as everybody else's. He got a whole nother internet connection.
That's why.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why.
But she could be awoke in a normal state while doing that shit. And nobody else was doing that. Reading, making tea, sitting outside, enjoying the. Yeah, so she might got that all set up, but I don't think, like you say, when you go see that other, that's another, and maybe her variant. Well, we getting deep, but I'm here for it, right?
right.
Maybe with her variants, they share because they're nexus, so it ain't like who are you? There's that we already got that. So now look, we know what happened to you over here.
I got kids in this reality. You can have them too.
Yeah. They not letting you when that happen. They the ones doing that.
Damn.
They preventing that. Those are your enemies. And then somebody might do something that no, you really are an enemy. Could be Kang, probably gonna be X, because he the one. Like I say, remember when he did he could have been the one that did that. After she said no more mutants, where they had to actually do what they did to Jean Grey. Right? They put the blocks in her, the mental blocks in her mind.
Yeah.
They might have had to did that shit to Wanda.
Yeah. That might She might have.
I'm deep, bro. My bad.
Bro, no. I'm with you. And I'm right there listen. I'm so there with you. Not only did they probably this could have happened. Now, you put the mental blocks in her head because that's not her parents. Those are her parents. Yeah, those are her mom and her dad. Her biological dad, though, because it don't make any fucking sense. They're mutants. They're not enhanced. They didn't get a shot in the lab when they were kids and become enhanced. They're mutants. Their dad and their mom, that might not be their real dad, mom and dad. So,
absolutely.
Like you said, they might have went to the school for the gifted with Professor X when they was young. Maybe that's where we get the McAvoy, where he no, yeah. He do the thing where he put the mental blocks to the point where he make her, maybe he hiding her from Magneto. Send her to foster home. Because that's kind of what happened in the comics.
Yeah.
They were because they kind of all right, so I remember it's kind of weird in the comics, but Wanda and her brother Pietro, they kind of they mutants, but they not. They're kind of created in the lab. I gotta remember. I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to without looking back on it. It's been a while since I looked on their origin story in the comics, but it was a reason why they were kept away. Yeah, they're a little bit different, and it's a reason they were kept away from Magneto. They eventually reconcile with him and become, it's a little bit loud, but they eventually reconcile with him, and that's their dad. But they're kept away from Magneto most of their life. He didn't raise them. He meets them when they're adults.
Yeah.
Where he's like, oh, you with the event? They with the Avengers, He fighting the X-Men and shit. And eventually they find out, no, that's my dad. That's Pietro's dad. That's we twins. And again, we dealing with multiverse, right? This version of Professor X was we gotta keep you away from Magneto. Anything's better than Magneto. Go live in Eastern Europe. End up in Sokovia. Powers manifest. Brother can run. You can do chaos magic. And again, that's her becoming so powerful. She unlocked that block. Like, oh no, we mutants. There's mutants everywhere.
This is what we was.
This is what we were, mutants. I'm a mutant.
Probably kept her from her father, all that stuff. She got all that at once.
Everything's
she's
alive.
Already wound tight.
Yeah. So that would just add to it. Like, okay. And again, we dealing with parenthood and shit. So it's like, she want kids. So it's like, she want kids. That's what I'm saying.
It's strange. It's at that moment, right before that, Strange was helping her, but she gonna find out a lot of shit. Like, no, this is your real, like you say, that other Wanda that's in there, right? That, remember she go to when she finally get to the house, like, I'm gonna show you where your kids are. They caged up in here, right?
Because they be yelling for her at the end of the credits, right?
So she get back to the whatever Westview house. Right, because they can't, like she said, I got nightmares and all this and all that. But there is that moment where she make it back to. I think early she said I'm having nightmares. They show the kids whatever. But then there's another one where she's still in that Westview house, which is so fucking dope that they did that to me because I was invested in the show, right? That they giving me those callbacks. But ultimately, you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Trying to. Yeah, we good. No, go ahead.
But she get to those moments, she get to that moment, and then that other one to show up, right, and be like, and she kind of like, Palmer and rubber chin or whatever she do, and then she get everything. Like, this is not your reality. This is what it really is. This was your real father. Your kids are such and such, or they stopped you. You would have had this other life. They stopped that, and then she turns into that. She need answers, and she need answers now. Some people done got it.
You gotta think that is something, right? It gotta be something to that, right? It gotta be that. Like, not it don't have, but that damn.
Like a because one thing Marvel good at. Once you get to the movie, right? Is there's always a human story,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
It's always a human story that goes with all the. Like, I think that was probably the hardest thing about the Eternals. It was like, it never really got back to the human story. Like, to me, I don't want to get into Eternals. I did some on every podcast we do. But the other ones, with all the conflict, there was always a kind of a human story to it.
Yeah.
Right. That you like, oh, okay. Like, it makes it believable. It's like being told, like, people that found out they was adopted. I know it's not that big, but they find out in the wrong way, or they find out that this was that and all that. She going to get all that, all the grief she done had. She gonna get that part right there. She just got told by that other Wanda. Oh yeah, this is what it really was. This is what happened. This was that. Professor X or somebody had already did this, or maybe it was the ancient one, right? They made it in conjunction, right? Whatever former member of the Illuminati, like all that kind of stuff. Like, we had to do that because we had problems with other Wandas in other universes. That
clearly they do. They already do. Zombie Wanda was a problem for like a short second. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Wanda was out of control. Like, damn.
It even looked like she was in one of the trailers. I don't know, but ultimately, they proactively got to her.
I'm about to watch What If again, bro. I gotta watch it again.
WandaVision again too.
Right, want that too.
I know I gotta watch What If because I watched it and I was like, oh, it ended up being I had so low expectation. That's the problem when you walk into these things, because I fell into. We talked about this and I fell into the loop, the trap early with Moon Knight. Like, okay, this is about to do this, and we only in episode 3. It was an episode I didn't really like. They may come back. I really like episode 1, less on 2. Didn't like 3, even though it was a good quality, but I didn't really like it. So let's keep it a buck.
Yeah,
I'll probably watch it again. I'll watch it again later and be like, oh, it wasn't that bad as I said it was. Episode 4 may come back and be like, oh, okay.
Maybe.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. I'm suspect on. I think they're gonna have one more great episode, but I don't believe that landing gonna stick.
Exactly. And that's the thing. And this is why I'm not optimistic, is because I've yet to see a show, a Disney Plus show, slip and rebound. Once it slip, it's like, oh, it's over. You know, it'll never like. Did we see that yet? I'm just saying, like, maybe.
No, bro.
Nah, it's like once you slip, it's like maybe with Hawkeye a little because episode 5 is like the best episode. Where they faltered in the first 3 episodes. I felt like the first 4 episodes. Episode 5 was like, damn, all right, that was pretty good. Man, it's pretty good.
That's the one where they with the Kingpin reveal, right?
Yeah.
Where he really got to act.
Yeah, he really got to act, but it was still wasn't good.
Nah, it wasn't. No, it was about to be right.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. That was probably the only one, but the bar was so low that they eventually had to have one.
They had to have one.
Right. They had to have one in the.
Yeah, they had to get a dub in there.
So maybe I should shoot them some bail, but I'm still hating. So that probably be the example. But they had nowhere to go but up.
Yeah.
No other one. Because it was like the best episode of the Falcon one was the one I think they had the John Wick writer. That episode 3. Just because of the action and everything that was going on with that. That was probably the best one. And it could have I think that they probably had an opportunity to go with what they was really trying to do. Right. The pandemic ain't happened and all that shit. And they got reactive and changed a bunch of things. And probably I don't think the landing would have stuck. But or who the villain ultimately became, right? Like that weird, part of it. Because there was either other parts in the last one outside of his speech and the villain. Like some of the stuff they did when he went back to the museum, and then some of the other stuff that was happening. Hell, even when he showed up at first, because it was such a dope thing. When he got the vibranium, I'm like, oh, you know my dumb ass. I thought he was about to be Black Panther.
Yo, can you imagine? Yeah, I would have took it.
100%.
Bro, I would have took that over at Captain America. Hell yeah.
I 100% thought that when he was gonna open that thing, they was gonna be like, oh, he was gonna pull up and then he was gonna put on he was gonna have the thing on like. So when he showed up with the and mind you, that's the run that they had. Everybody knew he was gonna be Falcon America, right? He was gonna have the suit and all that. But for me, at that moment, there was that part I was like,
that shit would have
he gonna come
because they ain't even doing him no justice though when you think about it, bro. Because he got that suit from Wakanda, right? Even the Captain America suit.
Well, remember Bucky slid it to him because he had I need you to do one more favor for me when he turned over Zemo.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
He had to do a Malaja. I need you to do one more favor for me. And he came through. When he came through and helped him fix up the ship, right?
So it's like
he slid him the damn. Here you go, man.
Nigga said, all I got the power to do. No, what he say? Damn, I messed up the line.
Are you talking about his speech?
I don't have any powers. I only have the power to do better. It's like,
yeah, that was
speech. He gave him a speech at the end, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't actually really get in that episode, even the whole series, because he had never been that extra with his captions, his hope.
No,
right? Like he people with a dope line in the when he did the thing at the he hadn't done that in so long, right? But he did that in the when he was the what he say at the local YMCA or something when he was the kind of helping out soldiers with PTSD and all that. But he had a couple of dope lines.
He wasn't preaching there.
Yeah, he wasn't that. And then all of a sudden they made him preachy.
Yeah.
Like even when he was talking to old
girls. You got to do better, Senator.
Like, bro, you was on the run for 5 years.
Yeah, you a criminal, bro.
Like, how do you even feel that? Like,
the senator shot you bells.
Like, how do you feel even that positive about what bro? You quietly should have got recruited to be on the group. But I say all that to say this: like, you didn't have a good that was a long time ago. You were that guy.
Yeah.
So why on this one you got to be? Hey, we need to. No, man, she blowing up soldiers and. No, she's young. We need to go ahead and then I get to talk to her and like, no, it was never. So I don't know why they chose to do that with him because he wasn't that leading up to that. He had like 2 weeks before. Next thing you know, he was hopping off because he was killing people. You know what I'm saying? Remember in Civil War?
Yeah, bodies, bro.
In the beginning, I count 5. I count 5 hostiles. 4. Wanda threw a couple up like Sam. I count 3. No, he just
his name's Red. His name wave to him. Niggas a son. Like,
Yeah, he got bodies,
bro,
man.
You got bodies, bro.
Speaking of trailers, I want to do one day when we come here because
Yeah.
that's not my favorite movie.
Yeah.
But I'll never forget the trailer leading up.
That's my favorite trailer of all time.
I'll never forget the trailer leading up.
Definitely. Oh my god. When he come in and he do the like kick where he flying and he do like the scissor kick and he like kick two people. And that music, the build up, because it start off as like, and then they get to that part where Tony is like, "Hey Cap, what's going on?" And he's like, "It's good. I thought we were friends." You know, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but then at the end he was like, I'm sorry, Cap. I'm sorry, Tony, but he's my friend. So was I. They took that line out, right? Didn't they take? You didn't say that, but he was like, "Yeah, so was I." Oh man, that thing stuck. I was like, "Shit."
That's my favorite trailer, bro.
Yeah,
I love that trailer, bro.
I think I have a problem with that movie too. Beyond just having a problem with it, right? Is the fact that was it, right? So let's keep it a buck. Like that was it. Like that was the end of the Avengers, right? Yeah, they came back in Endgame, but realistically, when you look back, that was it.
That was the end. They never came all back together.
It was over
at the same time ever.
They never had them all together.
They
Definitely at the end, Natasha was gone.
Yeah, they never even got a chance to connect. By the time they did, they got snapped out.
Yeah,
and that was it, bro.
And then when they was all came back and Cap finally said Avengers Assemble, Natasha wasn't there.
She wasn't there. She
ain't get to do all that with them, right?
Yeah.
Right. So like that was it. Like that was the end of the Avengers. So it's like there's a finality. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like I don't even know why I cared as much, but there's even a problem with me with the movies that came out, like that continuous watching in between that, right? So like Homecoming, Black Panther. The only one that's cool is Ragnarok because he wasn't around. None of that impacted him.
Yeah.
Right. But it was like, damn, that back because they start off with Black Panther. We're talking about Civil War, because his father died. Right?
Yeah. Right.
You're
the king now and all this. Yeah.
Tony's in Homecoming. It was like, I'm saying this not at the time. I love Black Panther. I still love Black Panther.
Yeah.
I'm talking retroactively. If I did a marathon, my toughest watch is that period from Civil War up until Infinity War.
Damn,
because of that moment, because that really was over. Once they came in there and was a dark Black Order. Once they show up and and they Tony and them what's the Bleecker Street address?
Mm-hmm.
What do they call that? They call that the Dr. Strange crib. It's a name.
The sanatorium.
The sanatorium.
Yeah.
Sanctum
Sanatorium.
Yeah, Sanctum. He was in the Sanctum.
Damn.
That moment, that's like, damn, it was really over for them dudes. Like that. It was really over. What's
the beginning of the end? Yeah.
It was really over. Once he gave him that cell, he gave him the burner phone, it was over.
That was it.
It was over.
Because he he was like, I'm about to call him. Then he was looking at it. Yeah, next thing you know, man, they in space. And Tony ain't back to Earth until Endgame, where everybody's dead.
Yeah, post-blip.
Everybody dead. He coming back with somebody who ain't even from Earth.
Yeah, he got Nebula.
And he was half dead. That was it.
Yeah.
Once he go up to space, once you said the Black Order show up, he like, these guys, and they fighting on the street. Strange he get dog walked. You know what I mean? He completely got just dragged in that fight. So they chase him up into space, man. They don't come back to Earth until he almost died.
Hey man, Strange got busier with Thanos than he did with the Maw.
With the Maw. Ebony Maw.
Ebony Maw. That's my line. I take it the Maw's dead. This day extracts heavy toll.
Yo, he was like, that's a man in the middle of a job, boy. We're just like, yo, this shit right here. You know how somebody say shit like that? Like they be like, man, this house fucking costs a lot, bro. Like they be like, man, this house fucking hey, I hope y'all appreciate this shit. You know what I mean? This house, boy. Eating the hell out of my bank account right now. This day extracts a heavy toll. That's a nigga, boy.
Like he ain't even hold on to that line. I take it to Mars dead. Like he called him the Mars. He ain't even call him. Hey, I take it to Mars.
Take it to Mars dead. That was his way of like mourning and shit, right? Like he did all that at once. Like that was his way of saying, like, yeah, he really took something valuable away from me. His dad strikes a heavy toll.
Yeah,
I'm really paying prices. Like that's him saying, man, this ain't as smooth as I thought it was gonna be.
Nah, it cost.
There's some cost there.
It cost.
And was this before or after he threw his daughter off the cliff?
This was after.
Damn,
he had already did that. Because right now Nebula shows up like
that's so his movie, man. Endgame is his movie, bro. The story of Thanos, bro. It's like this day extracts a heavy toll.
He said that shit so smooth too. He said, I take it to Mars dead. Strange just look at him like,
yeah, he ain't make it.
This day extracts a heavy toll.
This day extracts a heavy toll.
But he finished, he got his job done. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, he was even to the point where he patted Tony on the head like, damn it, I hope they remember you. Like Thanos was so fucking aware of the moment, right?
Yeah, he was in it.
Damn, this day extracts a heavy toll.
Wasn't no emotion.
He said
it was nothing more getting detoured by it, right?
All that for a drop of blood.
Because Tony hit him with everything.
Everything, bro.
Like his suit had basically become magic. Right? Tony had made his suit magic. New nano equals magic. Right?
Nano can do everything now, yeah.
Yeah, like his suit was had helmets coming out of it. Anything that missiles coming out, anything
weapons and shit. Yeah, he was basically T-1000 from Terminator, right?
Like Terminator, man. He had everything. My guy said, all that for a drop of blood.
All that for a drop of blood.
Took his. I thought Tony was done.
Oh, I was like, oh, this okay. This is it.
This is how they kill him off.
That's how they get.
At some point in time, somebody gonna die.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, Robert Downey Jr. I was like, he done made a lot of money. I was like, that's cool. This is it. It's a good death. This nigga Strange say, spare him. He said, what? He said, floated the little thing, floated the stone to him. Like, man, that's
Strange gonna pay for all that shit.
Exactly, bro. Because even the ancient one was like, what? Banner and shit. Yeah, he just gave it away. Yeah, he just gave it away. Why'd he give it away? What? Like she even repeated herself. Why?
I don't know.
I don't know. He just gave it away.
Strange is meant to be the best of us. So he must have done it for a reason. No, because he's a dumb. He got risky as fuck.
Because he reckless as fuck with reality, man. He don't care. He's like, well, hey, man, that nigga responsible for the snap. Just hands down. He gave up. That's it. Like, once he gave up the time stone, it was like, I'm done. Once I touch down the earth, it's a wrap. Once Thanos get the earth, it's like, hey, I need shit. Y'all ain't got nothing that can stop me here.
If he gives up the time stone, he can't reverse the time.
He can't revert. Yeah, because
Wanda did with the thing.
All he had to do was just wait a little bit longer, right? Just hold out and be like, Tony would have died, but it's like, damn,
the day would have extracted a heavy toll.
That's interesting, right? Yeah, that's interesting, right? Think about that for a minute, though. If he waits, right? If he's
stick
like,
to what he said.
It up. Yeah, I got a curse on the stone. You can't, even if you kill me, you can't get it. So he kills Tony, stabs him, whatever he do to him. But by the time he gets to Earth, they destroy the stone in Wakanda. It's nothing that Thanos could have did, right?
No, it's nothing. And he would have caught that action from Thor. Now, because now he got Stormbreaker.
Thor would have got him.
Now Thor got Stormbreaker, so he's down an Infinity Stone, and Thor got what he need.
Because Thor had him with all the Infinity Stones.
He had him with all the Infinity Stones.
Stormbreaker cut through, hit him in the chest. Like, he was done, bro. He was, should I aim for the head?
Oh yeah, I told him to die for that. All he had to do was get one more swipe.
That was it, man.
But yeah, but like in that battle, he was going to lose, like you say. All he had to do was wait. Yeah, Tony would have died.
That's Strange, bro. Strange was
died
like,
anyway.
Yeah, Strange was like,
and if you saw all those,
I think we can win this.
They say when they do this though, like when they have the part. So the thing that you and I are saying, Marvel MCU basically said, "Bleep you," because we just told you he looked at 14 million, such and such possibilities, and none of that. You get what I'm saying? That's them giving us the middle finger, like.
But are those 14 million possibilities after he gives him the stone? Could he just have said, "I'm not giving you the stone," and Stark is gonna die? Now,
is that one of the 14 million?
I guess he figures out a way. Yeah.
So that's what they tell, because we and you can sit here like, hold on, at what 14? You telling me he got this spell that he cannot do anything with the stone, right? And he got the ability. We just saw him before go, I came to bargain. You get what I'm saying? Remember,
he just keep reversing.
Remember pitch meeting did that?
No, Dormammu, I came with a bargain. What did you say again? No, Dormammu, I came with a bargain.
So he has that, because even Thanos told him, like, hold on, you doing this? You didn't even use your strongest weapon, and that's when then he crushed it like fake. But at the end of the day, them saying, "No, we looked at 14 million," that we knew that that chain of events wasn't gonna work. Right? This is what we going with, so y'all just suck it. Pause. Because you're right. It don't make sense. Because if he had held out,
and
Thor was
destroy the mind.
And Thor can go now. He got the power to Bifrost, so he don't have to wait. He need to wait on Thanos. He can go to Titan and go put work here.
Very interesting. Yeah, when you think about that, if he just waits. But that's Strange. Strange was like, nah, I'm gonna take it all in. The way I see it, Stark got to be alive, because this is how we win this thing. And I don't know. It just, because you even keep the stones around if you do it that way. If he just comes, if Thor gets there, he beheads Thanos. You put the stones back. And you keep the time stone.
Yeah, you don't lose anything. So they get to the part where, because now now that's another one too, though. I mean, this is another question. I ain't never even thought about this. Why the hell I know it was super dope for the movie. It was so dope for the movie. But why did Thor need to show up to Wakanda? Why didn't Thor go to Titan? He got the power to Bifrost.
Yeah.
Why would he need to go to Wakanda? That's just a fight you're getting into. You're not who you need to fight.
Right.
Why was that choice where he went to?
Yeah, because he got there well before Thanos got there, right?
You know what I'm saying? So he went to Wakanda while they were still talking with, I think, Thanos.
Yeah.
They might have started fighting.
You should have took the fight to Thanos.
But they actually had Thanos, up until the point where, Peter Quill got into what he got into. They had that. They was about that. They had Thanos. They messed up, but you get
Thanos
what I'm saying?
No, absolutely. Yeah, Thanos was.
It wasn't savage Thanos. It wasn't savage Thanos like he showed up in Endgame.
He was touchable. Yeah, he was beatable.
So they holding their own. He didn't need to show up to Wakanda. So what was the choice of him showing up to Wakanda? It was a super dope moment.
Yeah.
But reality, if you're gonna pick a place to go and you got the power to buy,
take your ass to Titan.
Why you not going to Titan?
Yeah, and joining, because they beating him on Titan, especially with all they was, like you said,
and Stormbreaker.
They had him with Quill.
Yeah.
You get in there, you come in there with Stormbreaker.
Like he could have showed up right that moment when she had him like sleep, and she had him about to be slumped out. Done. He showed up with Stormbreaker like, wow, got him.
Even if Peter Quill do lay him out and say you didn't do that, just don't say it. He like, man, you know, I mean, he like smacking Quill, like, get your ass out here, man. Fucking crazy, man. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so that's my point. Like,
yeah.
why was the choice of him going to that? Don't seem like a place he needed to go. What made him go to Earth? Because he don't even know that the Black Order is on Earth. Like, what for him lets him know? Like, oh no, they on Earth. They on Earth.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
How did he? Yeah. How did he? But it's the
Like,
Black Order. It's like Thanos not there though.
Thanos not there. So what made you want to go to Earth to go battle, and then ask about Thanos? Like you didn't. You need and you showed up in Wakanda of all places.
I guess he's tracking the ship, right? He tracking Thanos' fleet. You know, he looking at it like, all right, so where is the ship at? Because there's really no way of him to track Thanos.
Yeah,
Thanos
I guess if we was behind, if we was like, if we was off screen, Rocket probably had something where they tracked it.
Yeah, because Thanos is
just took him to Earth. Thanos
wherever he want to go, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, the Tesseract. Yeah, the Tesseract energy, so he can go through space and really not time, but go through anywhere in space that he needed to be.
But wait a minute.
So I guess that could be the answer.
Right.
That,
right.
That something happened off screen that they could track the ship.
But how did they? Nah, because didn't they? When they had a meeting on the ship, and Rocket's like, I'm going with Thor, and he's like, all right, and Quill's like, I know you. The only reason you're doing that because you're going where Thanos is not, or whatever. What was they tracking then? How did they know where Thanos? Okay, because Thanos was on nowhere, right? Thanos was on nowhere
because Thor had gave him that. Thor had given that. So that's why Thor showed up.
Yeah,
that's why Thor showed up in Wakanda, because Thor told them, "Hey, he's going to nowhere." Nowhere, and they was like, "Nah, it's a place that sucks," because he knew he had his team take the Reality Stone to nowhere.
That's what it is.
And he said it's two stones on Earth.
Them damn post credits. You're right. Yep. That's where it's going.
Yeah. So he knew Thanos was about to go to nowhere because of the Reality Stone. Then he knew it was two more. So Thanos had already had 2 stones at that time, right? He had the Tesseract and he had the Power Stone.
He got one off Thor's ship. Yeah.
And then he decimated
the Thor. He decimated the we didn't see that, by the way. Damn. Can't get a deleted scene with that. Well, he just Xandar, right?
Powerful when he decimated Xandar.
Yeah, that was just he put in the work on that one.
Yeah,
he came in there. Yeah, he just put in work. You know what I mean? He probably came with the double blade. You know, fucking people up. But
hell yeah, that thing,
yeah, the helicopter blade.
He probably got the thing on there. Once he had it in the gauntlet, then he was able to go ahead and decimate the land, right? As opposed to what the Celestial did when they tapped it in the ground and destroyed it. He probably could just, you know what I'm saying? And
I'll watch that. Go ahead, and if y'all want to, Marvel, you want to do a what if, or not even a what if, just an animated version of the work he had to put in before Endgame, or not Endgame, before Infinity War.
Like if they
decimated Xandar. No, even before that, he went and got the
he had to go to Never Delir.
Yeah, for the gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go get my man to make the gauntlet for him.
And but didn't he killed like all the dwarves, right?
All the dwarves.
This nigga was wrecking dwarves, bro.
He said, your life big as hell. Life is yours, but your hands are mine.
Nigga.
Those are big ass dwarves, bro.
Bro, he killed them all. Left him there and was like, man, make my gauntlet, bro.
And then Thor wasn't on this Dean because they were supposed to protect Never Delir.
Yo, Thor was reckless, bro. Thor shit caught up with him too, right?
Thor shit caught up with him. He off world where you supposed to be in Asgard,
bro. Yeah, you supposed to have been in Asgard. You let your brother running into the ground. You know, he got your pops on Earth, trapped in a nursing home.
Senile.
He's senile as hell. He ended up dying by the time you get to him. Yeah, Thor shit caught up to him in Ragnarok, man. And you couldn't even beat your sister. You had to destroy. You had to bring on Ragnarok to get rid of your sister.
To beat your sister.
That goes back to your dad dying because you fucked around and just
trying to hug her, trying to holler at Jane, and y'all broke up.
Yeah, because y'all
off screen broke up.
You really believe you just continue to keep falling for Loki tricks. Oh yeah, he's dead. Yeah, he's dead this time. No, I mean he's not dead.
Shit caught up with him, didn't
yeah. A lot of dumbass shit. Like
trying to make you feel sympathy for dudes. It's like, nah, man, that was on you, bro.
That was on
you.
you,
Did
bro.
that.
You did that.
I'm salty, man. Yeah, you right.
And he was, he want to get mad. And Ragnarok, when he see his pops die, he get mad at Loki and he power up. Loki looking at him like, what you want me to do? Nigga, you was all world. You wanted to save Earth. What they call it? Midgard? And you fucking around in Midgard, dude. Like,
how trash was your Infinity Stone hunt? Because you left the one movie, Ultron, talking about, yeah, somebody's playing a mockery of us, right? So I need to go do this, right? And you couldn't find any, but then that's the fucked up part, right? So we're going to talk about plot holes. Yeah. He goes in the beginning of and so he says at the end, he was on this hunt, right? I'm gonna go. Somebody's playing a game with us. I'm gonna go ahead and try to do what we need to do, right? Make sure them things are safe. The stones. We see him in Ragnarok in the beginning. He's trapped, right? He's trapped on this hunt. Goes to the stuff, trapped because he had been looking for him still.
Yeah.
But then when we get to Infinity War, he know where they all are. Except for obviously no one knows where the Soul Stone is.
Yo, this nigga Thor might be trapped.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Am I making sense? Like by the time we got to the Infinity War, he's like, oh yeah, this on Never to Live. This is on Nowhere. This is on these are on Earth.
Right. How you know? Okay. Don't you think that?
What Peter say? Don't you think we need to whip it like that? Like somebody should have came off like, don't you think we need to know that information?
Right. When was you planning on telling us that? That's probably something the Avengers need to look into, right? All of us. Like all that shit in Endgame where it's like, you ever been to space? And all. No, you niggas should have been in space way before that. Before everything got snapped out of existence. Figuring out how to protect these Infinity Stones.
We had years to do that.
Yeah.
All of a sudden in the end, oh yeah, this was on this. There's two of them on Earth. He took care of Xandar. So once he decimated Xandar, where was you at? Why were you not going to Nowhere to go make sure the one you sent over there you got? If you knew the one and then the other, what was the other one? It was Xandar, and then it was once that happened, you gotta go to Nowhere and go get it, and you gotta tell Tone.
That's the thing about Thor. Thor was broke. My bad. Thor was a broken man before that shit in Endgame. Thor was a broken man when his ship got destroyed and half the Asgardians got murdered. Oh, hey, Thor was operating on doneness. Thor was operating on doneness since the beginning of Endgame. Oh, not Endgame. Infinity War, right? Thor was done, bro. Yo, Thor was so done. He had to go get that. He had to go get Stormbreaker right after he had just figured out that he didn't need Mjolnir. She destroys it in the beginning. He get the message from his pop, man. He had a vision of his dad. Your true power has never been. What'd he say? Your power has never been in the damn hammer.
Mjolnir just to harness your power.
You just need Mjolnir.
It was never the source of your power.
He flying without Mjolnir. What happened to that?
What are you doing? The god of hammers?
We had this whole big scene. Soon as he get his ass whooped by Thanos, this nigga literally ran. He couldn't wait to get this Stormbreaker. Man, Thor was already broke, man.
He might have been broke, really. You make a great point. He might have been broke the moment where his hammer got broke.
I think he might have been done, bro.
Everything changed. Like when his hammer got broke, he will probably from that moment on, because it was never a plan to say we need to bring on Ragnarok.
Bro,
it was never a plan.
Never.
How do you know? And what in your mind, this? You had just kicked Surtur's ass, but he can't beat your sister.
Do that make any sense? You kick Surtur's ass with Mjolnir. She destroys Mjolnir. Like, hold on, I'm getting a call. Hold on. But yeah, damn.
I'll mute you.
My bad, man.
No, you good, bro.
Yeah, I got my they fucking ordered a new laptop at work for me, man. It finally came in. Old girl was calling me. Telling me that shit came in. I've been waiting for that shit for the longest.
Oh man,
They supposed to send me some monitors too, but I already got
real?
monitors. Yeah, I already got some monitors in my little office. So they ended up giving the monitors to like one of her managers. She was telling me like, yeah, we got the monitors and we got the laptop. Low key wanted to be like, yo, are the monitors better than the ones I got? If they are, give me the monitors and take my old ones. But whatever.
Yeah.
I
Is this a replacement situation like for
we got like
work?
because we just got like the base whatever where
Got
you
the
just plug
dock.
your laptop in and
You got the little dock.
Yeah,
That's how my situation is.
Yeah.
You just take that.
Yep.
I thought that was the dopest thing ever when I like that's the way people do business now, right? But when I had I was in Cali, I knew I was coming back. I was coming out to Charlotte when I took on this obviously this opportunity or whatever. And it was like, okay, yeah, I just had the little desktop. It's not mine. I only even turn the bitch off when I leave work. Like it don't matter. Like it ain't my computer.
Yep.
And then they was like, okay, yeah, because you might have to work from home and all this other stuff. And they slid me the lap. I'm like, oh shit, we doing that?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it was like, oh shit. And then thing was, I probably had that thing up until that was like 2014, up until last year. Last year, like when it was like that noise was being made, like that fan and all that. All I know is by the time I gave that thing up, it was probably taking like 10 minutes to load. You get what I'm saying? Like you turn that thing on, hit start. Damn. I could have made some eggs, bacon, ate before I had to actually put my password in. Like
it's literally got to warm up.
It was the oldest thing of the old. I was thinking about when I got this MacBook. Like I had my Mac Mini. Like, I forgot like how long. Like this thing is weird because you just hit a key and it turned on. Man. It ain't even got
a fingerprint in there and it just
like I hit any key. I could turn this thing off, hit any key, and the thing just turn on. I actually don't like that. I got to figure out how to like have a dedicated button that turns it on.
I can't wait to get another one of these bitches, right?
So you gonna get another one?
Nah, it's in the future. Not anytime soon. These was just calls. I'm talking about in the future. I'm just talking about like years.
We picked a good time because like the last cycle, I think it wasn't as good as this cycle. Like meaning like they tried some things with like the.
Because I don't think they had the chips, did they? Or did they?
They didn't do the chip number one, right? But even some of the things like the way it looked, because this shit's sleek. But like I think they was doing more with the touch bar at the top and not having like those.
They got rid of that shit.
Yeah, which is a lot of. We got them like even last year when we would have had a chip and we might still get that bar and everything. So it was like
bar.
The right time. If you're gonna get a Mac, It was the right time to go get one.
Right
If you didn't
time,
have
man.
one from like
Yeah.
2000, like 15 to 16, anything after that, I forget what they was calling them, but like it was when M1, I turned it up.
Nah,
That's crazy, man. We went into it for real Infinity War.
We did, man. We fell down a rabbit hole, man. But again, and I think we came out of this. Hey, man, Thor might be trash, man. Thor was Thor was broke before, because think about it. Nothing really. Okay, so even if you say he missed, even before so he didn't aim for the head.
Didn't aim for the head.
And
I didn't even expect him to do that until Thanos said it, but go ahead.
Right. And like that was like the source of a lot of his grief, right? And Endgame. And that led to him becoming this obese, not even obese, but just just a shell of himself.
They called him Fat Thor.
Yeah, fat. He was just Fat Thor, fat depressed Thor. But even before that, though, they killed half of his people. He had already got the snap.
Rocket said it.
Yeah.
And he had to tell him, like, at the end, he's like, what more else I got to lose? Remember, Rocket was asking him questions like, so, man, yeah, you got a father. Yeah, he died. Moms killed by elves. Brother, he's died many times, but I think it's for real this time. Sister, stabbed her. Stabbed in the eye, some shit.
He was
stabbed me in the eye, so I had to kill her. And then it was like, and then there was them friend.
He was already Fat Thor, man.
Said best friend.
Yeah.
Dead. This Thanos is a bad dude. Well, he's never fought me. Yes, well, he's never fought me twice.
He was about to cry, bro. He was like,
done. And it was like,
he was tearing up, like he was about to cry right there. Like,
hey, man, you sure you can handle this? Thanos, the baddest there is. He said, he's like, I've been living for 1,500 years, and a lot of people want to kill me. He said, what if you lose? He said something if we don't beat him. He said, what else I got to lose?
That's live.
About to cry.
He's about
That's
to
when
cry,
then he slid him the eye. Like, here you go. Right before so he was done. He was done at that moment. So you know what's crazy? That's a good point. The only one who had a proper character arc in a positive way is Cap.
Yeah. Cap became a counselor, right?
Did he?
But you talking about who had the overall character arc?
So if you show meaning I think they all had like great character arcs in their own way. But when you really break it down, like who actually probably ended positively?
Yes.
Meaning Cap didn't make mistakes. We got on Cap. Yeah. We always got on Cap about the damn shit. And when he got the Wakandans killed.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
But he was the only one that had his head on tight. Meaning like comparative to the other members of his team. Let's even go with the big three, right? But if we Tony went through PTSD. He was going through his issues. But Cap was like, okay, he didn't know anything. He was a whippersnapper. You got the first Avenger, then he sleep for 70 years, right? Then he shows up in Avengers. He's still probably the new dude in town. He don't even know, he don't know what to do, right? So then now he's starting to get his own in Winter Soldier one, right? He's starting to get, because he really was never really still in control. He was Cap, but he was taking orders.
Yeah, he was still taking orders.
By the time we get to Civil War, he telling people, Wanda, he's like we practiced.
That was his team, yeah.
Yeah, he had a team. He was totally in control, and he was making decisions. How we feel about Civil War, he was like
autonomous too, because he was like
he was
questioning, like she getting extra intel. He like, what the fuck what are you doing? She like, I got my orders, you got yours. He like he wasn't, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't taking orders from Fury.
Yeah,
like, I don't know what I'm doing out here. Yeah, I ain't getting no extra intel. What are you doing? You know what I mean? He was like,
then he ended up with old girl right at the end, right?
Yeah,
he went back in time where it's like everybody else in some way, shape, or form broke down. Especially if we just going about big three. I don't even think Banner broke down, right?
Banner couldn't even. Banner had to make a choice. Because Banner was either I never can use the Hulk again, or we got to combine and become one. Like he gave up being, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, Banner wasn't the same guy, bro. Banner disappeared for like what, a year, 2 years, however long he was on. He got launched into space.
He
never
completely
transformed back.
Yeah, completely broke down.
Completely, literally lost himself, right?
The people we saw during that circle, that iconic shot, right?
Yeah.
People we saw in that iconic shot
That's a good point.
all drop
Mhm.
except Cap.
Damn, that's true. Nat dead.
And I don't even know how
After the loss of Endgame.
Yeah, and I don't even know how.
Infinity
And she was on the coattails of Cap, right? So
Yeah.
I don't even put like her and Hawkeye and that kind of
Right.
impact. And you know how I feel about Nat, even
Right.
as a character, right? But like I don't even put them. They were more supportive than actually the dominance that the other ones.
They
were.
didn't have movies, nah. Yeah,
Right. They were more supportive.
Right, they were supportive. But yeah,
Banner broke down.
Banner lost himself, broke down,
Lost himself,
found himself again, and then lost Hulk.
Hulk didn't even
Complete two breakdowns back to back.
And he said that I got my ass like, except I lost twice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not only we lost, I lost the Hulk. He had to go in the lab, brains and the brawn. Best of both worlds. He had to go do that shit. But I'm saying, like, he had lost Thor.
Thor lost.
I'm gonna say Tony, whatever, he had his ups and downs. He probably was always gonna be that.
PTSD. Yeah. He was all over the place.
And the way he went, and the way he was so easy with the Sokovia, even though he was part of the reason, right, with the Ultron thing. And I know that's part of the story. I'm not saying, but realistically, like, he was ready to give that up. Where previous Tony would have never been like, hell no. Nah.
Previous Tony would have been like, y'all ain't getting shit.
He was in Iron Man 2 talking about, I tried to bargain with you.
With you ass hats?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. That Iron Man 2, I went back and watched it recently. I'm like, damn, that version of Tony was on to something. He was on his way to something until he got caught up in that. Pretty much until like Avengers and Ultron happened. But that version of Tony was on to something. Like, he had a plan. Like, all right, man, I can pretty much protect this country, maybe even this world with what I got going on here. But for some reason, he decides, I need Ultron too. Like he wanted to like
it was him going into that portal.
That's what it was, and it opened his eyes to like, man, we got threats beyond this earth.
Well, he was broken for a minute. He was broken for a minute. That was the first time he got a new perspective.
Because two things.
There was a real consequence to the things he was doing.
First of all, genocide, right?
Yeah.
Motherfucker destroyed. You've never seen a Chitauri after that.
Yes.
I mean, I guess if you technically count like those worms at the end of Endgame, maybe. And maybe some Chitauri was thrown in there, but for the most part, bro, he killed all the Chitauri.
Yeah,
on top of that, so mass genocide.
Facts.
Falls out of space. Facts. Falls out of the sky. Near-death experience. On top of all the like trauma and shit that he had in his life, right? So yeah, he was broken a bunch of times. That's a broken man.
Yeah, so when you go through all them, it just seemed like Cap was the only one who didn't have that ebb and flow. Like he became more authoritative. He became more better. He's a stronger decision. I don't know if you want to call it better, but he was a stronger decision maker.
Yeah, he stood on the square. Cap stood on. He was like, "Nah, man, that's my friend." Again, Cap was always looking. Okay, Cap never had a chance. Cap never trusted and never was given a reason to trust Shield.
Facts.
From day one. The moment he wakes up, he like, man. It's not Brooklyn. It's not Brooklyn. I was at this game. Who do you think you playing with? Running down the street. So he like, I'll never trust Shield. Then come Avengers. They got weapons and shit that he, So it's like Cap was never given a reason to be loyal to anybody, really, right? Cap was just like, man, I'm just gonna try to do the best that I can in this world. and I'll use Shield's resources. You know what I mean? Y'all got these helicarriers and shit. Like y'all launching me down into certain, yeah. But I don't trust y'all. Like I don't owe y'all nothing. So the moment he got something from his past, Bucky, it's like, man, that's all I'm loyal to. That's the only thing I can literally trust. I don't trust you, Starks. He didn't. Because, Starks, he was kind of like wild card, the suits and shit. So it's like, I don't trust you, man. He's like, I don't like you anyway. You know what I mean? So Thor, he pretty much looked at Thor like, man, you a god, man. I mean, you an alien. But yeah, the only thing he trusted was Bucky. The only thing he was loyal to was Bucky. And that was it. And he stood on the square, man. He was like, Bucky, my friend, we're gonna figure this out. It took him 2 movies. He's like, man, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna fix Bucky, and I'm gonna protect him any chance I get. I'm gonna find him first, and then I'm gonna protect him.
Because when you think about it, early Cap wasn't as decisive as he was. They think about some of the things he was saying in Endgame, not Endgame, but Infinity War. Right, when they were like, we don't trade lives, and he told, I'm over with asking for permission. Just he was way more like efficient with the shit he was saying because he was way more confident. Like, look, I does this. I did that, but now I does this.
I does this.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so like even
I'm that guy. I'm him.
Just even when like you can see from the end of Ultron, right? Meaning like because in the beginning he was still kind of like, remember Thor was like, get him to the thing. He was telling Cap what to do, and they was making fun of him because he said a couple, language and all that. They was doing all that shit. And by the end, after he tore that shit from Tony, like, but Tony said something like, I don't believe in God with a dark side. He was like, you try to win the war, before it begins, people die. And he ripped that shit like every time. It was like from that moment, he instantly was decisive. Like they was fucking winning when he was fighting Ultron in the beginning, like when he was on top of the thing. Then by the time they start getting on that, when they got on the floating, when the ship started floating, he was like, if you get killed, walk it off. He was Cap.
That was Cap.
He was Cap for the rest of the thing. And that's to me, like he was the only one who got stronger. Everybody else started having chinks and everything. And it was, I think to your point, you can look at Banner, but the one who got broke down the most is Thor. He lost the most.
Yeah. Mom,
he did. Dad, he lost the most.
Brother, multiple times. Half his people, and then the people that was left over from that got snapped out. So it's like,
and he made a decision to blow up their home to stop his sister. Right.
He destroyed. He brought about the destruction of his home, of Asgard.
I'm gonna bring him to Earth.
And that's only after they got snapped out. Yeah, that's a lot.
And you couldn't protect them. You saw your best friend die, and you couldn't protect them after you saw your brother. Whatever reason it's your brother, I guess. You kept feeling away when he had something happen to him. But ultimately, you saw Thanos. So people that's not coming back. So there was half of them that was left in that ship and all that they was done. Like, I guess the other half had escaped off screen, right? That's how we still see Valkyrie and all that. But ultimately, like you couldn't stop that from happening, right? So, he was broke the most, and that's probably why, like you say, to the point where I'm like logically like, dude, you've been searching for all these Infinity Stones, but you all of a sudden you know where they are, but your decision making is trash. You don't even have it. You don't even have it. Like hell, you trying to save Jane, even though it was Loki's fault, but the whole Jane thing got your mom's killed.
Yeah.
It was you.
Yeah, you should have never, yeah.
You put moms in harm's way.
The moment you brought Jane there,
somebody was gonna die.
It was gonna die because you're trying to protect Jane. You brought danger. Jane had to she had that, at the time she had to absorb the
ether.
The ether. The aether. She was dangerous. Yeah. You put her next to mom. They went through moms to get to her.
Yeah.
Like it was nothing, Yeah, Thor's decision making was terrible.
Yeah, that's what I can say. I'm sure if I look, there's probably like series of stuff like all the ways they went wrong when it came to the Infinity Stones, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's two ways. Like you say, you got the Doctor Strange thing once the battle started, but it was like Thor. It was a lot of information, man. You should have been, you told them what you was going to do. Then once they got to the point, like, oh no, I ain't gonna tell you about. I'm not gonna contact y'all and let y'all know that Thanos is on his way. Right? Meaning once I knew, like at some point in time, you knew Xandar. So Xandar had happened before.
Yeah, like the Guardians can tell him.
Shit. Xandar had happened before Thanos showed up on your ship, unless he said that. Like, how did you know the reality, the Power Stone was?
How did he know? How did he know?
Because you may have saw that, like, I see that Thanos got it, so I'm assuming that Xandar got demolished. Maybe it really didn't. I'm just going to assume that because that's what Thanos do. But at some point in time, you had some intel that Thanos had got. Maybe he told you.
He knew.
But you knew that. So then you knew all the other spots, but you didn't feel obliged to tell anyone that we need to get to these other places.
Nah.
Because Thanos coming.
I knew Thanos was coming. He ain't even. Yeah. Thor decision making was trash, but yeah, Thor ended up suffering the most as a result, pretty much. And yeah, you're right, man. The Avengers, man, that whole saga was tough on them, bro. And all we got left is we got Thor, who pretty much just said, I don't even want to rule Asgard, which is my birthright. I don't want that. I'd rather go back into space with the Guardians.
Go find myself.
You got Banner walking around with a sling still on his arm, about to pretty much be the sidekick to his cousin.
Facts.
You got Stark is dead. That's another thing. Like how? I mean, I guess Riri Williams is the future Iron Man, but that's another episode.
Yeah, what is she? Is she going to be? Because she got a show. She Ironheart.
Yeah, she Ironheart. And for a minute, I think in the comics she was like Invincible Iron Man, and I think AI Tony is like her. Is like her. That's like her Jarvis. And that was another theory that I was gonna bring up eventually. I kind of forgot about it. Man, you think we ever gonna get an AI Tony?
Damn.
Because I saw the toy for it the other day. That's what made me think about it. Like, damn.
You saw the toy for it.
That's like not for the. It was like a collector. It wasn't a movie toy. It was like a collector. It was out the comic books, but it's like that's a character.
Yeah.
AI Tony. I think on one of the Earths, like Earth 6-1, whatever. Like one of the.
What are we? Are we 616?
Yeah, we 616. This like a different. Just a different Earth. But a different, I guess, universe.
What if they do that?
AI Tony, bro.
What if they do that, but it's fucking Robert?
Because you have to pay Robert, right? But if he AI, he can probably do all his lines in one day.
Because at some point in time, he gonna do it.
He coming back, bro.
Yeah, at some point in time.
He coming back. Money talks, bullshit.
Yeah, and Tony ain't having that one kind of, or I keep saying Tony, but Robert.
Yeah.
He ain't having that one, like he about to do a TV show. Like is he doing a
TV show?
There's like a show coming out that he's doing.
Well, then that's it. Then that means you
know what
back.
I'm saying?
Yeah, you coming back.
Because the lines is like right now, like you had that one cycle, but this next cycle of like stuff that's coming out, if you're not a part of an IP, like they're not giving you big bucks. You probably go get bigger money to do the TV because all these places own the streaming, right? Like like Amazon could lose a bunch of money doing freaking TV because they got the money to lose. That ain't nothing but it ain't like Netflix loses a lot of money. That's their whole shit, right? Apple loses money doing streaming wars. It ain't nothing to them, right?
Facts,
it ain't nothing for even Disney,
facts.
Right? Especially with the COVID in, they can overspend for all that stuff. But I think he's doing something on Amazon. I saw that. I think he was involved in like a TV project.
And go back to what we was talking about the other day was they not profitable, right?
They're not
So it's not
profitable
like
at all.
you're not even.
I think Netflix just became profitable like this year, last year.
Yeah. So you
After
spending
all this time.
Yeah, you spending under the you spending knowing that you're not gonna be profitable. So yeah, we just got to get subscribers. All right, more content. All right, what's the price? Whatever it takes. And just to segue real quick to streaming services. I see this. I see you got the Wonder Woman in the back. Did you add the Transformers too? That's
Yeah,
dope.
they came today.
That shit.
I gotta fix it. I gotta
Damn.
fix it. I gotta fix
Yeah.
it. I got it leaned up against the thing, so I got to. It didn't come. This one was easy. It got like the stand on the back, so all I had to do was fold it out and sit the thing.
Did you ever see the Bumblebee movie?
I never watched that, man.
Man,
I don't know why I ain't never watched that.
It's worth it just for the opening opening scene, bro. When they having the war and is it Cybertron?
Yeah.
They having a war in Cyber. Oh man, yeah, watch that shit, bro. Watch just for that opening scene.
I don't know why I ain't never. I'm a Transformer head, right? Like,
yeah, that's it.
I'm not gonna claim it like that. I mean, when I was growing up and a lot of things I love the Transformers. Like it was like,
right.
Like I always tell people like up until like recently, I don't know why I did that, but I hadn't shed a tear since like Optimus Prime died in the cartoon movie. Trying to say like when he passed, I was done. And I had probably teared up until like
that was quick too.
I think when
the
Kobe
beginning of the
passed.
movie, like, damn, is it what?
Music was
He's
hitting
not
everything to it. Everything that
man.
was with it. I remember being so disappointed. Like, so that moment, the cartoon movie, he passed, and then obviously the movie got to end, right? They go through the movie. And then but the cartoon show was still on.
Mm-hmm.
But then they tried to bring him back like a spirit of Optimus like in space or something, because they tried to keep the show going, and maybe the viewership was down. Like, no, we got to bring Optimus back.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is y'all lost me.
They tried to do that shit in the movie.
Yeah. They had to try to bring him back.
He's the guy in the movie.
Yeah, so no, that was a big, but at the end of the day, that one don't have. They took the strap off the back, so I got to put the strap. I'm like, oh man, I wasn't trying to guess this shit, so I just laid it up. It look kind of like it's in place right now.
Right. You look right.
I had to do much.
But yeah, back to my original segue was HBO Max. Did you hear about what they're trying to do about because Discovery
bought them niggas.
They merged, right? So
actually, I think they bought them.
They bought them, right? That's what it means.
Which is crazy to think that Discovery buying HBO Warner, but they
exactly.
So Discovery was profitable.
Yeah. Oh, super profitable. That's a profitable app, profitable streaming service.
They profitable.
Discovery Plus.
They got. If you into that kind of stuff that they got, which a lot of that stuff I ain't gonna even front. Like I could sit here if there's a moment where like if I'm not watching, like when the TV is on, I'm watching. If I ain't watching sports, there's like moments that if it ain't sports, it's like HGTV or something. And I ain't never owned a home.
Exactly. Yeah.
I watch that stuff all the time. Like I could watch that. I will never be a do-it-yourself guy. Like I'm gonna go ahead and put some drywall. That ain't me, bro.
Yeah.
You'll never see me putting on no drywall.
That shit interesting though.
Man, they renovate a home. They had one where they was doing. I used to watch all the time. It was like they was trying to pick between. It was a couple moving into like their first house, and they have to pick between suburbs versus the city. Oh, it was like I don't even think they ever. I think they only did 6 episodes. Man, that shit was so dope for me. But yeah, all the stuff they do slap in terms of people. They have a strong following for what they do.
Did you? Oh yeah, and did you see what the guy? I guess the
Zaslow.
Yeah, so he got a list of things.
I can't believe I know this stuff. Bro.
Yeah, no, yeah, he taking over. So he come out with like a list of things that he wants to see change, and one of the things on the top of his list was, I want a Kevin Feige like guy. I felt like we talked about this shit, right? I ain't gonna say we predicted it. I mean, I'm pretty sure like a lot of people could have came to the conclusion that that's what they needed. Duh, like. I mean, who don't need a Feige? But
yeah.
The fact that this is the first thing he came out and said, like, no, man, y'all need to be more of a cohesive universe. He was talking about, and he was directly talking to DC, and DC, the DC movies, like, we need a more cohesive universe. We need a Feige like guy who know everything, but also can run the business. So it's like, yeah, like shit, you do. You know what I mean? I don't know who that guy is gonna be. Like they tried it with like what's his name, but I forgot the writer, comic book writer dude. But he ain't know shit. He don't know shit about movies. Yeah, you need that guy, man. And if they can, because DC make me so fucking mad because they literally let Marvel get the jump on them, and Marvel should have never got the jump on them when it come to multiverse.
Never.
Their multiverse, Marvel's multiverse is nowhere
Yeah.
near as interesting as DC's multiverse. Like DC, all of DC is connected. Like literally everything is accounted for, right? Whereas, okay, so we know we got just like you watched that Marvel Avengers cartoon, like that's clearly a separate universe from the movies, right?
Facts.
In DC, that shit is another universe.
Yes.
Them cartoon movies, the original Batman 89 movies, the Schumacher movie, all that shit those shits are separate universes that got names. And then they got like elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they
if you know, you been knew that was like we all sitting there like, no, they got how did they get the jump on that?
They should have never got the jump. They not
like
a multiverse. They was never a multiverse like comic book. It was never about the multiverse. Like they DC resets their universe like every 5 to 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. They'll do like they had New 52, then they had Rebirth. Marvel don't do that shit. Marvel got you under the assumption that that's the same Captain America who jumped off the ship in 1942 and was in Normandy. Like They got you under the assumption that that's the same Tony Stark that was a drunk and then he was the president, and then they don't really reset their universe. They'll just they'll do like some hocus pocus shit and just be like, oh they just he been around this whole time. It's like, wait a minute, how does Tony Stark? Shouldn't Tony Stark be 80 years old at this point?
Yeah.
But they'll just do some shit, but they don't really put in a lot of effort, at least not in the past, maybe recently. From my knowledge, they don't really put in a lot of effort to reset the universe. DC literally resets so that you're not looking at Superman like, damn, I know Superman an alien, but shit, he's 100 years old. It's like, no, he's not. Because they reset the universe. They literally reset to where like, oh shit, Clark Kent young again.
Yeah.
They reset so it's like, oh shit, Batman young again. They, you know what I mean? They'll have a crisis event. They'll have some major event where everything just resets. How the hell did y'all let Marvel get the jump on it? Now you looking like you following Marvel when it's really that's like your strength is the multiverse or infinite Earths. Like I never understood that, but I went off on a tangent. But yeah,
no, that's a real thing. And the weird thing about it is, anybody my age, younger, probably up to somebody that's probably like 20. When did Batman Begins drop? What, 2006, 2008?
Yeah, 2006.
Right?
Dark Knight was 2008.
Yes. So let's say in Iron Man probably dropped. Let's call it Avengers. Let's go really when it took off as Avengers. Right, that's like 2011, 2012.
Mm-hmm.
10 years ago. Give people like so somebody that's like 15, not even like let's say like 18. Mm-hmm. Somebody that's 18 years old, up until for my age to down to 18. Realistically, all like DC had that much of a head start.
Big head start, yeah.
I can't speak for people older than me, but I know me. And if it wasn't Spider-Man, like you had to be really deep into comics to know, because all the other mediums, it was Spider-Man and everything else was DC.
That was it.
It was a movie or a cartoon.
Facts.
Spider-Man was DC.
They had
and Hulk.
That was it.
And
but
then
in terms of success, in terms of success, it was Spider-Man. It was Spider-Man, and then everything else was DC, Batman.
DC.
They came out with a couple of Supermans.
You know about Justice League, cartoons.
Justice League cartoon. Video games was DC. Anime movies was super DC.
Facts.
Like they've been running that shit for years now. But yeah, for them to not secure that multiverse shit, and they kind of did it on the show on the Flashverse, not Flash, Arrowverse, the Arrowverse. correct that. Ain't no way in hell it's the Flash first.
Definitely not. Just
The Arrowverse. They tried. They did the Crisis on Infinite Earths and kind of just jumbled together the characters they could and kind of replaced them for the characters that were supposed to be there. Supergirl instead of Superwoman. Batwoman instead of Batman.
Arrow instead of Batman.
Arrow instead of Batman.
They should have been a different Arrow, but they did, like you said, they did that for what?
Like they tried, right? But that shit should have been in the movies. Like the movie version should have been it. It should have been more than that. Ezra Miller meeting the TV Flash. It should have been the whole. Like Superman should have like came down. Like Man of Steel, Henry Cavill. Like what y'all doing? Like I'm Superman. You know what I mean? Like that.
And it should have been at the movie. Because it was on DC. It was on CW.
It was on CW.
Because if you was watching that stuff, like that was when they first did it, it was super dope. But you had to be watching that stuff on CW, right? It wasn't like you was watching it, like you say, it was in a center. It was in a because they did it, and that was crazy how they could connect it at the same time where DCEU couldn't. These were TV shows on a smaller scale, where they was putting stuff, and they could not. They could not. For whatever reason, they can get that part for what it was. I don't want to hype it like it was. It was funny because I thought about that today because I think Flash about to end. Finally, should have ended like a couple years ago.
Oh, it's about to it's coming to an end.
Yeah,
wow.
It's supposed to be like everybody done left.
Oh, okay.
So, everybody done left. They don't even know if the sister coming back. Like the wifey, she might not be coming back for this. They're doing like a 15 episode run, and this is it.
They done exhausted all of it.
Yeah, they went through everything they could, but for like a 3-year run when they had shit going, or maybe they had a 2-year run when they was able to connect the universes, or maybe even the 3, where they connected them and they had that event that they would do. And they would cross over and they would be in each other's shows and like, oh man, you might be watching something and the damn Arrow show up, or Flash will show up, or the Supergirl will show up. Like that was like carrying some of the show. They threw Black Lightning and all that.
Yeah.
They again, you might not have liked that stuff, but it being connected, because that's what kept it going. It was a connected. I hate saying that all the time. I always diss it, but reality is it being connected and done right for that platform. People love that shit. You can even overlook other things like, oh, that's not that dope. But damn, so they actually adapted some sort of that storyline, and then they're able to successfully for a period. You might connect every time I'd be at work and no one watched those CW shows, but we be in a whole department talking about that event they had.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
We talk about the event like, oh, they just did the
what's the other one called? Heroes of Tomorrow and shit.
Legends of Tomorrow.
That's the sun shittiest show. It's not sun shit. Like it not in a bad way. It's just.
But it's the sun shit out of the clip.
It's sun shit as hell. But yeah, I even kind of watched a few of them episodes. Legends of Tomorrow.
They were connected, and then and then they even had it to the point where some of the things they had one that was so dope, because I don't call it so dope. I won't overhype it, but I really did like it because they had using that adaptation of Flashpoint, right? Because obviously Barry was trying to bring his parents back to life, bring his moms back to life, and it changed things, and it changed things on the shows. Right.
Oh, shit.
So what? So like,
you want to talk about an ending, boy? The ending to that shit.
Yeah.
Where he had to let him kill his parents or kill his mom again.
Yeah.
And he's like, just let me do what I have to do. I was like, damn. That was a man. You want to talk about a great villain? Reverse Flash, boy. If this show did anything, if it did any character any justice, Reverse Flash, it did the most justice in my opinion. One of the best villains.
Reverse Flash was super dope.
That nigga was dope.
That's my point.
He was dope in Flashpoint too. My bad. Go ahead.
Whatever they was doing in that. Now multiply that by movie. They could have just they had something, meaning like they had a way to do it. And they could have done it better in the movies, and they, like you said, they could never really get the jump on that. Like you say, but they had so many divisions within. Hell, they even got it now. Like, look at it. They just pushed back. They had Black Adam. They had a nice little momentum. They was going to bring out Black Adam. They was going to bring back. They had Shazam. They had a timeline, and obviously they got the shit they going on with Ezra.
Yeah.
They had the Flashpoint, and then they moved all the movie things around. And then it's like they doing they was bringing that up today. They just did reshoots on Black Adam, mind you. Black Adam was supposed to come out in May or come out earlier, and then it was supposed to come out. They just moved it to October, I think, but it was really supposed to come out like that long ago in like May. It was supposed to come out in May.
Fam, this movie been like 10 years.
How do you know you had to do reshoots now for a movie that would have dropped now if you didn't change the date?
Yeah.
So are you reacting to the Batman?
Fuck yeah, they are.
You get what I'm saying?
And I wonder, but what you gonna do, man? Like, what you think they gonna do with that? Because it's like you ain't getting shit off the bat. Like don't try to do anything like the Batman with Black Adam.
And you already told us this Batman wasn't gonna be connected.
He's not.
So
there's no way.
But you get what I'm saying? Like, so why do you need to adapt anything, even if it's stylistically, to what just happened?
Because you get
what I'm saying? It seems like that's what they're gonna do, but like, why?
And the dude on his list, another thing he said on his list was, I want more films like the Joker. So I think you definitely got a point. Like, reshoots all of a sudden? Because are you trying to make Black Adam darker and more grounded?
Black Adam.
Yeah, like, so he obviously, he's like, yeah, I want more of this. I want more gritty and grounded. It's like, come on, man. But you can't do that with Black Adam. Is all fantasy, magic and lightning, and sorcery and shit like that. You ain't grounded that. And they still ain't like connected. Him and Shazam, they didn't really connect them together. It's just, bro, DC is just, I just don't get it, bro. I don't get how you can be that dysfunctional.
These are great characters too. This is the time. Like, what a time we're in. Like,
and I'm a DC guy I'm originally a DC guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, me too.
Like the Trinity is like my favorite, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. Like those are my three favorite characters. Like that's it. Like, in my opinion, man, ain't no verses, ain't no DC, because you put Superman in the Marvel universe, man, he killing everybody. Everybody single-handedly. You don't need the Justice League. He just coming through and just he wrecking everybody. That's here nor there. But yeah, like I can't understand.
I like when they do
DC,
that,
bro.
I like when they do that. Like, it'll come across the internet every once in a while. Like, competition is like, it's really not. You can't really put nobody against. Like, Iron Man against Batman. You kind of do that, and then you do different things. But there's, they'll probably try to do Cat versus Wonder Woman or something like that.
Throw up there against Superman.
Thor against one, but they do those sort of. It's like, no, it's not even close.
It's really Thor, Wonder Woman.
Superman can show up unless somebody can invent some sort of variation of kryptonite.
That's the only chance you got.
It's over.
Tony got to do that, or you make like his suit out of kryptonite or something.
And keep it a buck. Maybe only Thor could even really fuck with Wonder Woman.
They like neck and neck.
You know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like,
hand to hand, he can't fuck with her at all.
Yeah, she trained, bro. I think that was even saying, like, damn, we really get nerdy. Like, when you look at the point where it get to, and I'm here. This is what I do, right? When they get to the point of Superman versus Wonder Woman, it'll be he's going to outlast her. Yeah, he's going to wear out. But like, if they get to fighting,
no, she whooping his ass.
But he gonna overpower her.
He gonna outlast her.
Things. And he gonna definitely allow from it.
Faster, he's faster and he's
but if they get
stronger.
to the hands,
she's the number one in the Justice League. Yeah. Maybe even over Batman.
Yeah,
she trained, bro. Ancient arts, Amazon. She can't. Yeah, you can't do nothing with that, bro. She'll beat anybody in hand-to-hand combat. That's just
it's always facts. Like when they show that sometime, and it's like, bro.
That's why she's slaying monsters and shit like that, bro. She just she's a beast. You know what I mean? You can't. Yeah,
you'll see that. And when the movies, it was like, nah, look, it's cool that they went in the movies, and rightfully so. They just doing a better job. Yeah. way better job. It's a machine right now, bro.
Yeah, bro.
But if it really get down, it's really not even close.
It's not close, bro. Because
it's really not even
Superman close. Get in there. Who's stopping Superman, bro? And Marvel. That's what I like about Marvel, though. I mean, Marvel do a great job of leveling their like scaling their heroes, right?
Yeah.
There's no real spikes. Like you got Magneto, you got Professor X.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for the most part, everybody like around the same power level, and it becomes more of a strategy on how they beat each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Tony got the suits, but it's like you got to really figure out how to beat you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And same thing with Thanos. Like Thanos he's a spike. You know what I mean? There's valleys and peaks. He's on the he's a peak. And it's like, but